Hello and welcome to Admit One, your once every 5-month movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your long lost at sea hosts, Jack Netley Thompson, and joining me this evening once again is the recently resurrected from some kind of tomb, Kristian Masham.
Someone called Tomb in the chat.
There is, and he says he misses my swearing.
I've not been resurrected from him, I can tell you that for free. We've both absconded, but neither of us have absconded as far as Pakistan, so...
True. I sat there and thought about that for a second.
You went to a few places, so you might have slipped the memory.
But neither of them were anywhere close to that far away. They were further away than Tesco, though, so it's a holiday.
Indeed.
Asda is a holiday. Asda's closer to here, I think.
What, than Italy?
No. Then Tesco's as well.
Oh, I see. Yes, there is a Asda closer to me than there is a Tesco. Yes, that's correct.
Yes, I didn't mean are all Asdas closer than Italy?
Yes.
How have you been since we got so unbelievably stressed out? We said fuck a lot of you.
Yeah, it's been a bizarre time. It's been a bizarre hiatus, you know. And there was many talks about, do we even want to do this again? And for a while, the answer was no. No, we don't.
Your answer was
no. Okay, my answer was no. But I felt the need. I felt the itch to talk about video games and to talk about...
Sorry, I'm very used to Diet Coke. That fucking
yeah.
hit me with a sledgehammer of syrup. That did.
It's a bit like that, yeah. I felt the need to talk about video games. I felt the need to talk about movies. I missed watching I'll be honest, I wanted to finish watching MCU. That's all it was. But Matt, at some point, I've got some stuff to unload about the video game industry.
Maybe it depends how long this goes. Maybe we can just have a waffle afterwards.
Perhaps. I'm not against it because Camilla didn't buy any donuts with the food shopping, so a waffle would go down a treat.
I've missed this. It's utter absurdity. Episode 1 back from the absconding days, and we've already made the waffle joke again. Doesn't take much. Much.
Yes. Hannah, thank you for
28 months in a row. Did you subscribe every month we weren't doing anything?
Wow.
If so, appreciated.
Wow. But yes, we are back officially. There will be some changes afoot and some changes ahead. We will be doing some things a little bit differently. Not all shows will return in the way that they once were, but for now, Admit One shall resume weekly every Saturday, 8 p.m. as we finish off the MCU ranking. And what's happened? I bought a 6-month subscription, then you fucked right off.
I apologise. I didn't realise that was the case. Not that it would have changed shit, but we would have absconded with a heavier heart.
Yeah, no, I have no regrets.
No, neither do I. I don't regret just writing July off of real life.
Yeah.
And going to places, many of which
are in this. I noticed that when I was watching it. I was like, Jack has been all of here.
I was here.
No.
I've got many photos of me here.
Have they rebuilt it now?
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
Cool.
The water monster wasn't more.
Okay.
I've been to all of these places. There is a bit where I go, pretty sure that's my hostel. Yeah.
Cool.
I've been to many of these places.
Well, we shall get to that shortly. But yes, as I say, the MC.
Weirdly enough, sorry, just to completely interject. None of that ever occurs to me with London.
That's because London is hometown, essentially.
Oh, yeah, I know. But
so you don't think of it that way?
Yeah, I know. But it's more like I've been to all the places, pretty much all the places that were in London as well. But I don't really give a shit. Because, as we said the other day,
when we
on
were
Wednesday
in London,
night, fucking hate London.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
God, it's a... Oh, God, and there were like 16,000 people in one room.
Old middle-aged women as well, really.
Yeah, one of them getting told off for dancing in the stairwell. I mean, she's lucky she didn't get shoved down the stairs.
If you
by
were,
me.
I was going to say it's only because you were sat in front of her. Otherwise,
Oh yeah, if she was sat directly in front of me, dead, she would have been murdered. Would have been murdered. Like, do not crash the wedding for me, you skank.
Anyway, as I was saying about the show.
It's called Rabbit Hole Media.
Yes, Abbott 1 will return for the time being as we do MCU ranked and reviewed. There will be some more announcements coming. Beyond that, obviously, Rich's gaming streams will eventually come back around as well as he exits paternity leave at some point. But congratulations to Rich on the baby. But with that in mind, obviously, it's been a while since we've done this. And when we last left, we had technical issues left, right, and centre. And of course, none of them have been remedied. They just seem to have gone away. So, please bear with us if anything goes mental. What?
I don't like the fact that that is entirely true.
Yes, exactly. We did nothing, but just the problems weren't there anymore.
We switched capture cards.
We have switched capture cards, that's true.
Fair. The one we were using is no more because
Well,
for
it
some
exists.
reason. Well, yes, it's there.
Yeah.
But it works absolutely fine. It just doesn't work with our PC at all anymore for some reason, because our PC is how does one say, a wumper show. And everything's wrong with it. We turned it on today and just went, you're not getting security updates anymore, spend £600 on Windows. And we went,
Basically exactly what it said, yeah.
no. We
So-
will spend zero monies on Windows, so we'll have that bridge to cross as well
But
from all the cyber terrorists.
the point being, if can you please let us know if something is weird, if the audio is out of sync, if the audio levels aren't right, please let us know. First time back in 6 months, things have been weird, and I expect more shit to hit the fan.
A Mexican sex pest water king. I don't understand. I've missed something.
Capture card? No, that doesn't make sense. Windows? That doesn't make sense.
Show.
Not getting it. £600? No. Maybe that's the weight of the Mexican sex pest.
We're going to need an explanation.
No more. That. It was a little vague.
You combined character and actor there, so like.
Yeah. I get it. Good work, but I was never going to put that together. Never going to put that together.
Alleged. I don't know actually. What came of that? Did anything come of that?
Don't know. Not been paying attention to any of that. I'm bored.
No. Give
Yes.
it a week. There's another 907 different sex pest.
Indeed.
People. Today we're here to talk about Spider-Man, not local. That's the bootleg title, I think. With a budget of $160 million and a worldwide gross of $1,131,927,996.
Sorry,
I said.
Can you go back to that again? What was the budget
160 million.
and the worldwide gross?
1,130. It nearly made $1 billion of profit.
That's many dollar.
Yeah. That 160 million might not have included marketing.
For sure.
We don't know if any of the.
Still many dollar.
It is still many dollars. Thanks, Daddy. It's still many a dollar. The reason I said 390 at first was because I read the. It's been. We're out of practice. It's fine. I read the.
I've done it now though.
Gross.
Right. What's gross? The fact I touched your hand. You liked it the other night.
No, the US gross as opposed to the worldwide. That's one up me. Yes, which has been subscribing for longer. I now need to open my notes.
Oh yeah, I've got notes. See, we discussed we were going to be more prepared. We said one of the things we're going to do when we're doing these shows could be a bit more prepared. We're going to have some things ready to go. We're going to make notes because I just when we were doing these MCU movies and anything else, I just watched it and then hoped I'd remember.
quite far in advance
Yeah.
as well. So it's just like, let's go and talk about this movie.
But
What
there were some of the MCU movies we didn't even rewatch.
Oh, yeah. For me, it was most of.
Precisely.
Yeah. But it's because I knew them so well, and it was kind of, it's just, yeah. But
Yeah, we're trying to be more prepared. And we both discussed how our notes are archaic. And
they're nonsense.
I've not seen each other's notes, and I'm intrigued to see if there's any crossover.
Well, my first note is, and I... That's literally my first note. To verify, it is literally my first note. Just because I like that opening. It's amusing to me.
My first note is part of the same thing, but it's Comic Sans / Getty Images.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. I like the...
We're talking about Spider-Man Far From Home now. We've done this. We've done the one bit of stat.
They remember.
And now we're just going to talk about it.
No, we're just going to waffle about the film for however long it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your house is vibrating.
What is that?
I couldn't tell you. You're as in the dark as I am.
I don't know if it's been picked up on the mics, but that's a really weird sound. Anyway.
That's definitely not been picked up on the mic. But yes, the opening little in memoriam montage is highly entertaining.
I found the montage very entertaining because I loved the fact that the fonts were all Comic Sans and that all the images using just had Getty Images logos all over it, where like the joke being that someone with no budget just putting it from Google Images, all low resolution, badly stretched out.
Some of the ones with like Tony Stark are like high res because obviously he had loads of like photos and like stuff from. But the one from Vision was clearly it was meant to be seemingly from the airport in Civil War. Someone just zoomed in with a 2016 phone and took a photo. What it actually was an actual screenshot of the movie Civil War that someone had just downgraded. But
funny though, I enjoyed that.
Yeah,
it was a really subtle gag, and I liked it.
The same with Cap, and in the same montage, my second note comes into play because the guy the one who hosts with Betty, is very amusing. Yeah, and it's like my little brother is older than me now, and just his existential crisis live on air that he has from I was like, corker of an opening.
From a storytelling point of view, though, I also really like this. Obviously, it's coming out of Endgame. This is the first movie we've had since Endgame, which was fucking huge and like big hype. And I remember the question for me was like, where are they going from here? Downhill is the answer, but we'll get to that over the next 10 weeks. But it was like, where are they going from here and how are they going to bring this all together in a way that makes sense, especially after what's happened with everyone's disappeared and then back. And I like that actually just it addresses it all really quickly. And it kind of needs to, and it does it in a way that makes sense within the film as well, diegetically. It makes sense that they'd be talking about it as opposed to... It's an effective way of providing exposition. Because needed exposition. I think they did a really good job of it.
I agree.
Because that easily could have just been a point... I was expecting that to be a poor conversation between Spidey and Happy at some point that just felt forced. But no, it was right. It felt good.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this because you would. It seems to be in American high schools. You get all this like AV club and the people that host all of the announcements and things like that. I believe over there they're called fucking nerds, but. Sort of shit I would be, so I'm not insulted.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a great opening. It's good. Your toast is fading, and this is really upsetting.
Yeah.
Have you been washing it inside out?
No.
Well then.
Oh, it's my fault.
Yeah.
The mugs went all shit as well. I threw away the mugs.
Yeah, because
the Vistaprint ones
friendly
that we got at the end of 2018.
That's because these were done by a better company, and they're probably dishwasher friendly. Whereas the Redbubble ones definitely weren't.
No, but I still put them in the dishwasher.
You did,
every time.
Yeah. And that's why they
lasted a good while. I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
We'll get some more soon.
We will. You need another toaster shirt.
Yeah, I want the Absconder one.
Yeah, so do I. I want us to. Anyway, fucking Christ.
Yeah.
What else did I write?
Nothing's changed.
Most of my notes are just the jokes, to be fair.
So hence the chaos that I was talking about.
Because the next note I have is wife pretended to blip. And I love that.
It's a fucking quality gag.
I think Martin Starr in this movie is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love it. I think that whole scene on the plane with the perfume allergy and my wife pretended to blip and we had a fake funeral and everything. Well, the funeral was real. So did you want to see a video? And just, all of it. Him, the teachers throughout this movie are.
Oh yeah, because
so
the other
fucking
guy
funny.
is the whole way through. He's like, "Don't look at me." Yeah,
Don't look
witches.
at me. Yeah, he's like, as a man of science, witches. It's so good. I love
Your
all those
notes,
jokes.
you say, are about the jokes. A lot of my notes are me kind of making my own jokes, but we'll get to those. My second note was around the same area. Was dual headphone adapter.
Yep.
And it was just me going, dual headphone adapter. Could they not just share AirPods? And then I realised this probably wasn't a thing.
It just about would have been, I think, 2019.
The idea of a dual headphone adapter to me right now is crazy. Like, just share your AirPod audio. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, but you've still then only got one in each.
No. You can connect to. Did you know you could do this? You can. So Camilla and I did it on the plane.
Oh, yeah, that you definitely couldn't do then.
Oh,
I thought
yeah,
you meant
yeah,
whether
yeah.
AirPods existed.
No. Yeah. So the thing where you can have two AirPods connected to the same device to share the audio you're listening to. So we
that's reason in the last couple of years.
Basically, it was just me watching it, and I was like, dual headphone adapter. When was this film made? Like, I realised it's all very recent. It just didn't feel
You're
recent.
also
to
talking
me.
about poor children as well.
I know. Poor children. This man has been babied by Tony Stark.
Doesn't mean he has money.
I reckon
It means he's been given expensive things.
he's got money. I reckon he's got money.
If you had Tony Stark money, you
Hannah,
wouldn't
yes,
fly
you.
coach.
Hannah, yes, you absolutely can use AirPods on a plane.
Why
I'm not sure
wouldn't you
why
be
you
able to
wouldn't
use
be able to use
AirPods?
AirPods on a plane.
Why wouldn't you be able to use AirPods on a plane?
They're not like snakes. Flash was also. No, Hannah says Flash is not a poor child.
But
He wasn't
Flash was
taking
also-
part in
yeah.
in headphone sharing.
Yeah, and was also up front. Like he was just.
Yeah. Camilla and I, when we went to Greece the other week, and even when we went to Orlando the other year, we downloaded a bunch of Modern Family and just watched that on the plane together because that kills time.
I'm sure it does.
Because it's such an
quick.
easy watch.
Yeah.
And it's quick and it's fucking funny. That's just like, oh, the flight's over, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I just had a shitload of like anime and stuff downloaded, so I was fine. For very similar. To be fair, my flights were like an hour.
Yeah.
Maybe two. Tops.
And you were on your own, Sim.
I was. But because you can't plug them in. That's the point of AirPods.
They're just Bluetooth headphones. So they just connect to your phone and or iPad via Bluetooth.
I don't
That's all.
understand. Yeah, I've. To be fair, I'm massively confused by your confusion. Honestly,
I'm wondering if Hannah's thinking that potentially, like, because of airplane mode, they won't work.
oh no, they were.
But they will still-
Yeah,
yeah,
they've
they
got
will
nothing
still
to do with the
function.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
But yeah, you can't use them. Yes, but that's what Tim's saying. You can't use them with the in-flight entertainment. Yes, so it'd be if to your own device. That might mean what she means. You can't connect it to the plane zone thing.
Yeah. To be fair, I'm poor, so planes don't have things.
It'd only be a long haul flight that would
Yeah,
have
yeah.
that. So yeah, no, I get you.
I see.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
flight to
do
Greece-
long haul flights.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
flight to Greece did not have in-flight entertainment.
No. The flight from Rome to Berlin didn't also have
Mm.
a place for legs. So
One of them.
yeah.
My flight back from Greece had a fucking prick on it though. So.
Yeah.
What was your next note? I like this. I
My-
like the note. Ray
My
doing
next
this.
note is the fact that in the build-up, the early stages of the film, so Jake Gyllenhaal and his crew are always they're lurking. You can see them lurking. So
I didn't spot that.
as Jake Gyllenhaal walks past Peter as he walks out of the airport.
All right.
On the as they're walking over one of the bridges, I think it's around about the bow conversation is is the other guy, the guy who ends up being the bus driver.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
Even later, after he's been the bus driver, he's also hiding in a corner.
I
later
noticed
as
that.
well, and because everyone walks past and he's like, "Here," you just see him go, pull his hat down. I'm like, stealth.
It's like the praying in Assassin's Creed.
especially post Assassin's Creed 1. At least Altair's robes are the same colour as everybody else. But you, like, fucking Edward Kenway just standing in the middle of 6 prostitutes in bulky leather hooded armour, just like
blades on him.
It's just like stealth.
See, my next comment was actually still prior to that. It was I said kind of meta can't live up to Stark, and here I'm saying kind of meta. My takeaway of this, I thought it was amusing, and this obviously isn't a deliberate thing. I just thought this was amusing. Is a lot of the theme of this film is this idea that that Peter is feeling this pressure that he needs to live up to being Iron Man. And he's getting this pressure from the media and everyone around him. You're the next Iron Man. Are you in charge of the Avengers now?
I had initially written that after that scene in the support for the homeless thing, was reporters are cunts.
Yes, that would just be a fact, though. But obviously, there's this whole theme throughout the entire film of him having to come to terms with the fact that he will never be Iron Man, but he can like that doesn't mean that he can't be Spider-Man, and that's not a bad thing. But what I found amusing about it is this thing of like, well, you know, I remember when this was coming out and when we finished Endgame, and I was thinking, how are MCU ever going to live up to the Infinity Saga? And so far, they have not, and that's amusing to me because it was
start with Far From
no,
Home.
I know,
the drop
but,
didn't start
no,
with Far From Home.
But obviously, there was that question of how are they going to live up, and it was just. It's kind of funny that the first film after that is kind of tackling also that subject, which they were probably also tackling in the writers' room. We've got to live up to the Infinity Saga. How are we ever going to do that? And that's exactly what was going on with this character. I just thought that was kind of weird. Just a weird thing I noticed. Not in any way intentional, just something I noticed.
Yeah, fair.
A coinky dink.
A little coinky dink in Dinkley Deed. But, yeah. No, yeah, they definitely haven't. There have been some movies that are on par with the Infinity War saga, but as a whole, like I would say this and No Way Home. And,
oh yeah, no, there's still some good ones.
There's definitely some good ones, but there's definitely some bottom of the barrel dog shit to come as well. Where am I? Again, my next note was a joke.
Okay.
Another person touches that door. You and I are going to attend another funeral.
I love that shit.
That is possibly the best line in the movie.
It is one of Nick Fury's, again, top tier MCU lines.
Yep.
Along with the I recognise the council has made a decision, but given it's a stupid
ass decision, I've elected to ignore it. Yeah. Yes. I enjoy that thoroughly. Always got to get that line. Pretty much all the jokes I've written down are jokes that get me every time with this movie.
Well, my next comment was prior to that, and it was just Spider-Man not in costume is cool. And this is something there's something about, I've always liked this, when you're seeing a hero heroing not in their costume. Something about that I find cool. I don't know why, I just do. There's just something about it. Seeing him zip around and be Spider-Man just in a jeans and a shirt.
Because it's more real.
Yeah.
And because one of the criticisms that these Spider-Man movies get, which I kind of understand, but also it doesn't really bother me, is that it's never really a person in a suit. It's a CGI thing, and it's quite clearly a CGI suit. He definitely had real suits on set, but most of the time they were really heavily enhanced by CGI, and it always looks a bit. It looks a bit funny. You can see the seams on the Iron Spider now, like things are poking through.
Oh yeah. Especially when he's not got his head on. I know it sounds stupid. His mask.
Well, that's the only time you can see it.
Yeah, but it just sticks out.
Yeah,
like,
it's the transition. Yeah. It's the gap between it, and that's always been a problem. Marvel have never been able to suss.
Yeah. I do love a superhero mufti day. That's true.
But no, I really like it as well, which is one of the reasons I actually quite like Iron Man 3 a lot.
Yep,
because that's pretty much what that movie is.
I think I said the same comment with Iron Man 3.
But yeah, I like the bit in Venice going, "Ooh, what was that?"
Side note, it's fucking warm in here. Carry on.
It is. Is the window open?
Yes. I'm going to open it wider. There's no cat. I just realised I can do that.
Yeah, that is... You probably don't need the blind closed either. That made no difference to the shot.
Yeah. Oh, what the fuck? There you go.
Wind! Airflow!
Oh, did I tell you about the new game my cat's been liking to play?
You did?
I did, yeah. I'm going to read out the text I sent you very quickly, actually.
20 to 4 in the morning.
Yes, because
It didn't wake me up.
That's when
so
this took place. I sent Jack this message this morning at 20 to 4.
Where's things not in the room
Yeah.
is more what was meant by that.
Yes. So I said, it seems the cat has a new game, and then put live mouse on bed while humans are asleep. It's a shit game. Twice that's happened now.
The Infinity Gauntlet isn't flipping off anymore. Oh no, it's doing a rock thing. Or Spider-Man.
Yes. Yes. Thank you for following KK6779.
Many a number.
Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, whose note are we going?
I don't think it really matters.
Oh, yeah, Venice, because I put Venice Fight as a cool early spectacle. I thought it was a really good sequence.
It is. I think it's really cool. I literally going to see if I, when he does the
Yeah.
onto the old bridge. I was like, that is very familiar. That is like alarmingly familiar. And then I was like, that's because it's there.
Yeah, it is.
I can't show you.
You can kind of hold it up, but
I could do that, but you're not gonna be able to see it.
No, not at all. Mm-hmm.
There are the beams.
Yep.
Good luck seeing that on your iPads.
I've also put here as a follow-up list, dickwad is a top tier insult.
Considering it isn't a real water monster, they got a lot of water everywhere. To be fair, the damage thing, the whole illusion thing is, like, the logistics of it is my biggest issue.
Yeah, I was thinking that watching it.
With this movie, because they're doing damage, but they're just shooting.
Yeah.
And there's and they've got their air thing, so you'll be able to make splashes. But yeah, a lot of it's just like, we're taking some leaps.
Oh yeah, there was some big leaps.
We're taking some leaps. And the whole aftermath of this movie and into No Way Home and everything, I just don't buy.
Yeah.
I don't buy any of it. I don't like. Humanity are the thickest species. Dickwad?
Dickwad.
Who said that?
I said dickwad is a top tier insult.
Oh, did you?
Because Flash says it.
Oh, what's up, Dickwad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I very nearly sent you a message questioning this when we were watching it, but I figured they explained it later, but not sufficiently. Well, yeah, they do explain it, but it's as you say, it's not a sufficient explanation.
It is very much a all right then type explanation.
Yeah, it's nonsense, because that's not how bullets work.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. And it's like double the damage, and then suddenly bullets taking little chips out of
pillars,
the
and just blowing them up.
Blows them up. Like, all right.
That's not double.
That's not double. And also that they were clearly swiped.
Yeah.
From the after, which is what you were going for. But whatever. My next note is Dimitri, the driver and the bearded man. He is the chameleon in the comics. And
Oh, okay.
So they were clearly setting up the possibility of doing something with that. I don't know why he would have been with Shield or whatever they were called, with Fury, well, Talos. But yeah, he's there. He's lurking.
I put again around the same area. Multiverse is set up and shut down in the same movie.
And then opened again.
And then opened again, yeah. Because they set up the multiverse in this, and then they sort of shut it down as he's made that shit up. And then it's all about the multiverse going forward. So it's a bit bizarre.
This is why people have difficulty accepting that it's actually Earth 616 as well.
Yes.
Because he says it's Earth 616.
And why would he know that? Because he doesn't. He's made up the multiverse.
Yeah. But in Multiverse of Madness, which we'll obviously get to, the multiverse is confirmed, and it's also reiterated that the Earth we've been following is Earth 616.
Yeah.
But many people don't believe that, to the point where if you Google it, the official things will say it's an Earth number that isn't 616. I was like, it's not being. Marvel, the MCU has said it's 616. So if you have a problem with it, Sammy, you can deal with it. I wrote Jake Gyllenhaal as a treasure.
I didn't write that, but I agree with the statement. He's really good in this movie.
He's really good in everything.
He's a prick, but he's really good in this movie.
He's really good in everything. I'm just going to jump into something I said now because you'll find it amusing.
Okay.
And, I also wrote later that Jake can join the lineup of Avengers railing.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it.
I wrote it that way specifically because of our Avengers After Dark.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
I
Okay.
appreciated it.
What's your next note?
Bitch, please, you've been to space.
Oh, okay.
I've done like 4 in a row, so it's...
Yeah. Well, I just want to see where we're at because I'm kind of jumping around because then I say should have killed Brad.
It should have killed
Should have
Brad.
just killed him. The guy was a
Pervert.
grade A prick and a perv and everything else. Like, kill him. Just let the drone do it and fucking pin it on
And
someone
as
else.
far as you're concerned, a fucking child.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So, why are you engaging with this prick?
Yep.
Like,
Yeah, I feel like just given the nature of the drone strike, I reckon he could have got away with it.
could have gotten away with it and then blamed it on Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. Absolutely could have blamed it on Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, he didn't know that at that point, but...
No, but it
Would
would
have
have been a
worked out.
fortuitous,
Yeah, absolutely.
situation where...
And he would have taken Brad out of the situation, you know?
Yeah. My next note is actually a criticism. A little jab. And it was after they had the argument. They've been hijacked and taken to Prague. Or this, that, and the other.
My next note is prior to that, so can I just put it in? Hashtag baby mountain goats.
Hashtag baby mountain goats. Baby mountain goats.
Carry on.
And then we arrive in Prague.
Yeah. I did fucking enjoy that. I like the whole bus scene anyway, and
It's a
I
good
like
scene.
the slow-mo shot of them coming up and
Even
whatnot.
dead, I'm the hero.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
But I do like the Pete, what are you doing? He's just like, hey, look, baby mountain goats. And the guy's like, oh, baby mountain goats.
Again, Martin Starr is fucking excellent in this movie.
There's a lot of stuff there as well, because then after when Betty's like, Peter, do you really think no one's noticed? We
Your
love
new
this new
look.
look.
Yeah.
It's great. I really enjoy it.
Did you just slap Flash?
It fucking knocks him the fuck out as well. Like, just... Also, why didn't Flash question that when he wakes? He must have known he just got knocked out by Peter Parker.
But maybe, like,
Maybe
your
just be
immediate
amused.
short-term memory
Yeah,
gets
maybe.
fucking obliterated when
Yeah.
you get one slap and it takes
To be
you
fair,
out.
considering he thinks nothing of Peter as well, he's probably just baffled by what just happened. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
say anything. That man just knocked me the fuck out.
But yeah, I really like that scene. The discovering Edith accidentally nearly killing Brad and all sorts of hijinks. Your standard school trip affair.
Yeah. Happened on my school trip.
So then my next note, Fury has a go at Peter. He then goes up onto the roof to sulk, and Mysterio joins him, and says, Fury told me to come up here and apologise, and then says, "Don't you do have sarcasm on this earth, right?" My note just says that wasn't sarcasm. That was just a lie. Like,
That's the Americans not understanding sarcasm.
Americans don't understand sarcasm. I didn't realise they got it completely wrong.
Yeah.
I just figured they couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
They couldn't pick it out when someone was being sarcastic. Didn't think that they just genuinely didn't know what it was.
I mean, there's a certain amount of sarcasm in the line he was... Because obviously he's saying, like...
you can deliver something sort of like semi-sarcastic, but I'd argue that wasn't... What he said wasn't...
Well, it's sarcastic in the sense of that he didn't really ask him to say that.
No,
so
I know.
he's trying to make a bit of a joke.
But
But
then what's the-
sarcasm isn't the right word, really.
No,
I just
it's
don't know.
not.
What would be the correct term for that?
A lie. Like,
No, but he said it as a joke.
it's just a joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, not everything that isn't what you actually mean
Is necessarily
is
sarcasm.
sarcasm. Like, sarcasm is saying something with an underlying tone.
Yeah.
Like, not just saying something that's wrong. I feel like probably if you want to get deep into the minutiae of nonsense, you could probably argue some form of sarcasm was laid. Like, oh, what he said wasn't sarcasm,
What
but he said it sarcastically. And I argue that lie in front of a train, it wasn't
I
sarcasm.
like trains.
You do. Choo choo. There's someone at your door.
It's a cat. Yes. No, fair enough.
And then I just wrote Mysterio's suit is dope.
Mysterious suit is dope.
It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, it is dope. It's cool. It looks great. My next note is a long way into the film after this, actually. So you keep going. Keep giving me notes. Use that as our talking points. I like this. I like this note sharing thing, actually.
It is good. My next one is Night Monkey's suit is dope.
It is clearly fucking Spider-Man. It's clearly Spider-Man.
Yes.
Which is why everyone's like, the Spider-Man.
Well, yeah, Betty's like, is that Spider-Man? Yeah. And MJ's like, does he use the same webs? It might be a spider monkey.
I like that as well. Yes, I put the twist reveal is great.
It is. Mine are still ahead of that. Little tight around the web shooter.
Yeah,
10 out of 10
line. Yeah,
10 out of 10 line. Everyone loves a bit of a dick and a cum joke. Spider-Man theme is dope.
Yes.
Why? It's a fake pub, but why is he just hanging out in a pub with no mask on?
Who, Peter?
Yeah.
No, but still in the Night Monkey costume.
Yeah, he hasn't changed. He's just undone
Reasons
the jacket.
why everyone knows Peter Parker is Spider-Man 764.
And this is transcending franchises now. But yeah, so yes. Now we're caught up.
That
reveal is.
I think it's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I've got very few notes after this because pretty much all the compliments I had for the rest of the movie also applied to the beginning. I've still got a few, but not many. Most of my notes are done. But that reveal, the way it was done, even though for me personally it was obvious because I know who Mysterio is. So not criticism of the movie, I just know who Mysterio is. But even for me, it was still so fucking cool. I really fucking liked... Because it did kind of get to a point where I was like, are they just making him a good guy for now and then his fall and then he'll change later? But no. I really like that reveal. That whole scene, the speech, the reveals of who the characters are. Although, to be fair, they only had like one of like they are a past character from thing. Otherwise, everyone was just a... One of them were like, you're integral to this team because you clearly saw an email once. I was like... All right. You found out that the classes were being given. Right? Did you do anything to assist after you shared this email in the group WhatsApp? What are you doing? But yes.
No, I just thought it was a good twist because I think it was revealed well, and because they straight away as soon as Peter walks out, they revealed it to you. I think that was very good, very good.
I agree. Yeah, pretty much everything else about the way. How are these drones so quiet? How's the damage work?
I'll buy a lot of the drone stuff because there is weirder tech in the MCU that doesn't exist, like the nanotech and stuff like that. But it's more the way those seem to be able to react with the environment is the thing that I was like, okay, we're leaping, but that's fine.
I think the argument to get around that is the sheer quantity of them.
Yeah.
I do have one question.
Yep.
So the drones were customized to have projectors on them. How did all the ones that came from the satellite have projectors on them?
Good question. Yeah, good question. Don't know. That'll be one for...
And they're all unemployed. Where have they got the money?
That'll be one for... is it John Watts? Is that the director's name? Don't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, really good question for him.
Indeed. His answer will be... Oh, I didn't think of
that. My next note was MJ is smart.
MJ is smart. I much prefer this version of MJ to Kirsten Dunst.
I just like Zendaya.
Yeah, well, yes.
To be fair, I think she's excellent in general, but she's very good in this role. And I like the back and forth with the two characters in this. I mean, it's just a thing, that love relationship thing. But it works really well. And I like there's this back and forth that they're both a bit awkward with each other. They're both a bit nerdy. I like that. I like that kind of there isn't one being confident. They both don't know how to handle this and approach it and deal with it. Somehow it's more relatable.
Well, it is because that's how people are.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, and that's definitely how teenagers
It's exactly how my committed relationship started. Like, obviously, I remember there was this back and forth between our friends that was like, oh, Kristian wants to go out with you, and say, oh, Kristian wants to go out with you. We were like 14, whatever. And there was this back and forth, to the point where I think it was decided via friends that we were going out, and we hadn't spoken to each other, to the point where in a lesson, could have just walked over to him from the side of the room saying, so are we like, what's happening? Are we like going out now? Like, I think so. Okay, all right, cool. And I just walked away. That was the weird.
And the rest is history.
Yeah. So yeah, it's relatable in that sense. But I like that. Obviously, he's like trying to talk to her seriously to say he likes her, and she's like, "You're Spider-Man." No. And then I was only like 67% sure. It's really good. I like all of it, and she's smart, and she just accepts it. I kind of like, and I buy that. I buy it. She's like, because she does know it, and she's just like, okay, this makes so much sense and cool, great.
Also, I don't know how big of a deal I would make if I found out, like, if someone was just like, oh yeah, well, a good friend was just like, I'm Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Sick. You're taking me swinging, or I will tell everyone.
Well.
Not that kind of swinging.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Deary. My next note is dem abs.
Also, yeah, I like that as well. There's like, she's turns around, just don't blame her.
No, thankfully Tom Holland is actually older than 60, so this is okay.
Yep. My next note was I don't like the trippy scene.
Is it because it's trippy, or you just don't like it?
I never like trippy things like that.
I see, because my next note was illusion scenes are the coolest shit in the entire MCU.
I hate them in everything. I hate them in video games. I always hate it. It almost feels like a cliche in a way, because so many video games do it. I know it's not, but it just feels like it's like the amount of things. And it's always
it's a cliche in games. Yeah, this isn't a game.
I know. But it then, because I already have that, like, oh, fucking one of these. Because I already have that issue with that type of scene, it just highlights it for me. It's always in the same point in the plot as well. It's always at that kind of just before the final act thing. The trippy scene is what I mean, is the illusion scene when Mysterio is tricking him and showing him all this different stuff and moving around.
Illusions.
And
I think
some of the stuff in it's cool, like the zombie Iron Man was fucking cool. Like, there is some cool bits in it. There's just something about those type of scenes that always annoys me, and I can't put my finger on it. It is a tidy of me thing. It's not a real criticism. It's just, I don't like them. Just don't like them.
That's fair. You can't have a Mysterio without these.
No,
though.
I get it. I get it. So. I'd say it's not really a criticism. It's really just a very personal. I just don't like that bit.
It's maybe the biggest disagreement we've had in the entire MCU ranking. Because if you said what scene...
I mean, it's not going to affect the ranking.
No. But if you ask me what scene is the best in the MCU, I'd probably say those ones.
I'm going to say something in a minute was going to contradict me itself in a way.
You agree with me?
Sort of, but no. But we'll get there. I just, I don't know. Something about it just didn't quite work for me. I did like the twist within it, the fact that it's not actually him that gets shot and whatnot, and the way he tricks him, because that was clever. That was smart.
Oh, my favourite bit in the whole thing, though, is the Spider-Man trapped in a mini New York City snow globe, which is his head, and he takes it off and drops it. I was like, that's fucking cool as shit.
My follow-up note from this was also, I like trains.
Yes, arguably the villain of the story.
And that is literally because he gets hit by the train, and I just went, "Oh, train!" And I was like, "I like trains." I'm gonna write that
down. Not a note, but should have been a note. Dutch people are well nice.
They are. I've only got 3 notes left, so I'm kind of being cautious with them. But they are. They're very friendly, those Dutch people.
One, so.
I love that the guard is just wearing the mask and just says something about the night monkey, and Peter's just like, what the fuck?
Oh, wait, I assume because obviously I don't speak Dutch, my assumption is he's talking about the fact that he's arrested.
Yeah.
And he's just got the mask on, and Peter's like, I don't care. Whatever. But I buy that everyone's that nice.
Oh yeah, so do I.
In I was going to say Deutschland, but that's not true. That's Germany. They're all angry.
Netherlands.
Yes, the Netherlands.
Yes.
I didn't go there. I should have gone there.
It's almost time for the Absconder 2.0.
There will be an Absconder 2.0. I don't know when, because money.
Yes.
Maybe I'll try and win the lottery and we'll go for a rabbit hole absconding.
I'm on board. Yeah. How are you doing? How many notes have you got left?
One, as I just said.
Oh, right, okay. Well, I got 3, so I'll go with one of mine.
Mine's not for a while.
Uses the Avengers theme as they know it's the most arousing theme ever written. Very good use of it.
Yep, on the plane, in the suit.
As he works his shit out, has his talk with Happy.
Speaking of cop-out tech.
The machine that can just build the suit.
Yeah. Nonsense.
Also,
fabricator, as it's called.
But it is literally just like
bullshit.
Because he's like, oh, give me this weapon and make me be able to do this with it. So basically, what you're saying is Tony Stark designed nothing. He just went, here's an idea, and then tech did it for him.
Well, he designed the machine.
But he designed the machine that made it. Yeah, it's weird.
He designed the machine that can do that.
It's weird.
And also, you need to know what to tell it.
Well, yeah, but like anyone can come up with a cool idea.
No, but he's giving it numbers and output levels and all this sort of stuff to try and make certain effects happen.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
There are things with guitars and amps. I know how a guitar works. There are things I can't do with a guitar. Like play them. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. There was just one line he said, which I can't remember what it was. It was something like, "Give me this swing and give me the ability to like do this with it."
Just because that was, to be fair, he was picking out a list of options.
Right. Okay.
Like, he was flicking through stuff and picking. I was like, I want this, I want that.
Yeah. But the little use of the Avengers motive as he starts doing it and the machine opens, it's like, oh yeah, it's good.
Then he loves Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. I actually like that as well. I did enjoy that. I enjoyed that little like.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed that.
Because it's just that little throwback, that bit of reminiscence of still the MCU. It's still everything we know, and it worked really well. I think it was good. I think it was very, very good. Obviously, there's some cool shit in London. My notes skip past it though, and this is where I almost contradict myself because I say final bridge fight is sick.
He's not really doing anything there though. He just makes it black.
Yeah, I just fucking love it.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So, it's not really a trippy scene. He just makes it dark, and then he Peter Tingles his way to victory. That
sequence of him tingling his way through it.
That's cool as fuck. When I say the illusion scenes, I'm pairing them
that's
together.
Fair. It's so cool. Everything about it, the way he works, and the way it's dead quiet, it takes all the music out, and then it's just the sound of the fight happening.
Nothing until
yeah. And then grabs his hand that he can't see and turns to him like, you can't trick me anymore. It's like, fucking yes. Because I love that you've got with Spider-Man and Peter Parker is that he's a bit geeky, he's a bit nerdy, he's not quite there, but when he needs to be, he's really quippy and he's really cool and he's really fucking good and he's badass. And we get that in other films of him as well. And I love that. I love seeing that little bits of it seep through at the right time. And it's a really good use of it. Really enjoy it. And then follow up to that,
my last note is actually before this.
Oh, okay. It's just that mine rhymed, but...
I mean, you've spoken many words since your last note.
No, I know.
So
that's fine. I'll make it work.
Mine was just metal fence to the ribs. Pass.
Oh, yeah, I thought that when I watched it. It's like, that fucking hurts.
Pass.
Especially as it's already set up previous to that it hurts, because he's having the stitches done. And he's like, I thought you had super strength. It still hurts.
Yeah. Oh.
That would be, I think for me, if I was Spider-Man in that situation and that happened, I'd be like, I'm done. Just fucking, that's fine. I'm out.
London. I don't live here.
Yeah, this is not my problem.
No, I don't care. I don't care. This may indeed be an Avengers level threat-ish. Maybe. I don't know how effective these drones are in reality. Well, they seem to be blowing up a lot of stuff. How was there an actual tornado? Because that bus gets sucked into the fucking...
Yeah, that's another thing. How do these drones work? It doesn't make much sense.
Nonsense. I like all the stuff in the Tower of London.
Yeah, it's already good.
I'm in love with Spider-Man's art.
I thought we were sharing.
Yeah.
Yep, I like all of that.
It's good stuff. But yeah, I don't have any notes left.
So my final notes were, final bridge fight is sick, and then Mysterio is a dick.
He is. He is indeed.
Leave
it to Captain Britain. Yeah, exactly. I agree. Henry Cavill hasn't been officially cast as Captain Britain, but if Marvel had any sense left in Kevin Feige's little brain, then they would.
They don't.
But like, Well, how would you like to shove a cactus up DC's arse? Sir Cavill. Dick Wad.
No, Dick Wad.
Not
W-A-D.
W-A... So Wad. Dick Wad.
I don't really know what it means. It's an American thing.
Oh, yeah. So
Google it.
therefore, it means nothing.
Yeah, I'm going to Google it. Which is dangerous.
I think it's just the equivalent of calling someone a fuckstick or something like that. It's like...
Yeah.
It doesn't really mean anything. It's just a generic insult. But here we are at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's just generic insult. Even Urban Dictionary is just like a person who's just an arsehole. A person who's just an arsehole all the time.
Neither. W-A-D. We've spelt it for you like 90 times.
Yeah, there is no real definition.
I've always just assumed it was, as you say, just a generic.
The mental image of a man with his penis wadded up as a ball, apparently. That's good.
As you do.
Oh yeah, a pile of dicks, like a wad of dicks.
I think a wad is a very British thing.
Yeah. That's not an American thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if like a wad of cash would be.
But then the wad in general, because you get fuck wad as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just yeah.
Yeah, I think
anything in particular.
stick.
Yeah.
Dick stick, prick stick, whatever you want to call it. It's like a stick of glue that
Yeah.
forever called a prick for them.
Oh yeah, prick stick, not Pritt stick.
Yes.
Yeah, get it.
The rest of the movies. The rest of the movie, fucking singular, Christ. Is where I take umbrage.
Okay, go on.
Because I don't buy any of it, and it's all.
Wait, what don't you buy? What were you talking about?
So there's Mysterio's plan is very reliant on Peter happening to say something in a very specific way that I don't think he would actually say.
In terms of the post-credit scene.
Well, also when he says, yes, execute them all.
Mm.
I don't think he would say that. He would just say, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I need confirmation. And the other times Edith has asked for confirmation, he's just said yes or confirm.
Yeah,
He hasn't repeated back to her. So the fact that he said this is a bit convenient. And he needed him to say that exactly in order for this to work. Because there's nothing really in that context, nothing else he could say in that context.
It's way too coincidental to be believable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the fact... Apparently an iron dick wad is semen, which is... So like a sock that doesn't fall over.
Oh, no.
Sorry. Moving on.
Crispy.
And then the post... The illusion literally disappears.
Yeah.
And there is undoubtedly thousands of social media clips, even Flash got one, of that happening.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't buy that anyone would even... This is kind of going in with the post-credit scene.
Going into No Way Home.
I don't think that anyone would buy any of it. Obviously, the identity thing is still a problem.
Yeah.
But I don't believe that anyone would actually buy...
That Peter did it?
Yeah.
I do. People are fucking stupid.
Not enough.
No,
to
I
do.
do.
To cause that much of a problem.
I do believe people would buy it because he even sets it up by saying people will believe whatever they fucking want to believe.
No, I know. But I feel like...
Jack, we had a real-life global pandemic and no one bought it was real.
True.
Like, people are fucking stupid.
But again, there wasn't enough people to cause that,
That I agree with. But then I also wonder, how much of a problem really was it in No Way? It was more of a problem. It was a personal level problem. It wasn't really a problem for him on a global scale. It was just that you couldn't get into the fucking uni you wanted.
Well, and then there were people shouting at, harassing him, attacking him in the streets at every given corner. He was being chased and harassed.
I feel like, I get that. You would get that. People are assholes.
Not to that level. I also think people are too chicken shit.
That's true, especially to fucking...
To Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, who you
going,
think's a terrorist at this point.
Yeah. The person
Edith, kill cunt.
The person you believe is a murderer.
Yeah, that
and
fair.
Is super powered and completely capable of just fucking outdoing you and your entire fucking family. Let's be honest. It would be one guy with a gun.
Yeah.
Or maybe two guys with a gun. I don't think it's throwing a brick through the window and all that kind of... We're going into No Way Home now, but
Fair.
I don't buy it would become that much of a problem to the point where he feels like he needs magic to change the level of the universe.
Fair enough.
I don't think it would cause that much of a problem because I don't think enough people
would give a shit.
Would buy it. You would have the J. Jonah Jameson nonsense of pretty much reporting the biased news of reporting anything that's anti-Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But you would also have those just running actual news, as we have. In the last few days, I've seen many things of when news articles can't get fucking anything right.
Yes.
I was just literally scrolling...
The Spider-Man thing with IGN for one.
Oh, the Spider-Man thing for IGN, yes. All of this leaked. No, it didn't. Insomniac said it. You fucking idiot. But no, with the tree...
Yep.
It was literally... The videos were teenager, man, 60 years old.
Well...
I was like, which fucking was it?
Both. 2 people were arrested.
Because... Each video was only talking about one person, and they were posted at the same time.
Yeah.
So
no, two people were arrested.
And then there was I don't know if you saw the bus crash.
Yes, I did see the bus crash.
Well, not see it, but you know what I mean. The one thing, if you're going to be fucking scummy and just dive deep into somebody's life after they've been killed in an accident, the least you could fucking do is get their age right. Because it was 14, 15, 14, 15, 14, 15. It's like, just fucking, count, for fuck's sake. I'm sure you have a date of birth. You've pried into their fucking family to get this information. Just fucking count, you worthless cunts. Sorry, I don't like reporters.
Yeah,
there was a bus crash on the M53.
M53, yeah.
M53.
It was a school bus.
Yeah, which killed the driver and a 14-year-old girl. Or 15. I don't actually know. I didn't look into it.
A teenage girl, which is the main thing, yeah.
A human being that was far too young.
Yeah, absolutely. Indeed. Otherwise, No Way Home. Not No Way Home. Far From Home.
That's a fucking great movie.
It is a good movie, isn't it? It's still real good.
I love this movie. I think anyone who says that these Spider-Man movies aren't good...
Oh, they're liars. They're just lying.
Incapable of individual thought.
No, they're lying. I don't think they actually believe it. I think they're just saying it to try and be cool. Like hipsters. I think that's all it is.
Incapable of individual thought.
Oh, yeah, good point. Yeah.
Because, there's this... The podcast I tell you about is obsessed with Spider-Man, but doesn't like the Tom Holland movies. He likes No Way Home because Tobey Maguire's in it. But I'd argue, and his reasoning is, he's not Spider-Man. I agree with that. He's not particularly Spider-Man-y in these movies, but we know that's the point.
I feel like he is Spider-Man-y. I see Spider-Man when I see him. He's in the suit. He does the swingy. He does the flippy. He does the webby.
I think action-wise, he's more Spider-Man, but personality-wise, he's very not Spider-Man.
Nah, that's just a different take in it.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. Yeah. I think these are the best Spider-Man movies we've got, and also the whole point is because Peter Parker is supposed to be poor and entirely on this, that, and the other, so people don't like that. He has Tony Stark's backing and all this kind of stuff. He's already an Avenger. But the whole point was, at the end of No Way Home, he is now Spider-Man. That's the point. So, clearly, missed the point. But also, we've got movies that are very Spider-Man. They're the Tobey Maguire ones. God... Aren't they a bit obnoxious?
Especially the third one.
Well, that's just a bad movie.
You need some bleach.
Yes, that's just a bad movie. But I'd argue Tobey Maguire in that is insufferable.
Yeah, he is.
Kirsten Dunst is insufferable.
When we did
yeah,
this.
I know. Yeah. James Franco is insufferable.
Yeah.
I think everyone in that. I think the villains are great. Some of the action scenes are great in 2. That's literally it. Everyone talks about Spider-Man 1 as if it's the fucking best thing ever. The action
do the train face.
The what?
The train face.
Oh. But yeah, and then the Andrew Garfield movies. Andrew Garfield's great.
Yeah.
But and Emma Stone's great, but the rest of it is pretty.
No, Tim, I agree. It's not weird to prefer Andrew over Toby. He's better.
No, Andrew is better. Tom, Andrew, Toby. I think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man, and anyone who disagrees is a fucking idiot. I saw that guy who doesn't like these movies because he's a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Goes around Comic-Con and just asks people questions and stuff. And just like, which Spider-Man do you think has suffered more, has lost more? The answer is Tom.
Yeah.
He lost.
Especially by the end of No Way Home, future spoilers.
Yeah. He's lost
Everyone.
everything.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
literally everything possible.
Yeah.
Multiple times if you count the blip.
Yeah.
So he's lost, but everyone's the, oh, Andrew, you're Gwen. Yeah? Fucking and? Like.
I mean, losing Emma Stone's a big loss, to be fair.
I agree,
but
we'll get to that in a few weeks' time. Not Emma Stone. Sorry, and then I was going to say stuff about No Way Home.
Got it.
So
got it.
That transition made sense in my head, but I forgot to articulate things out loud.
What would you score this then? Come on.
Ooh. We don't do decimal points, but it's a high 8.
I agree. High 8.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's quite a 9. Yeah. I don't even know why. I don't know why. It just doesn't feel like a 9.
For me, it's pretty much only you're suspending things a bit too much.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything in it which is just like fucking wow. Like there's none of those big.
A lot of it's really cool, and as I say,
yeah, really good.
The illusion stuff is some of my favourite stuff in the entire MCU. No, he didn't. We've had this. I'm pretty sure we did this. Hannah said he did technically kill her, referring to Andrew. Are you saying her neck broke? Because we went over this when we did the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Her neck doesn't break. Her head hits the floor. So, actually, he doesn't kill her. If that's what you're referring to. You might be referring to metaphorically he killed her by putting her in that situation, in which case, fair enough.
True. Anyway, I agree. Bit good, isn't it?
Yeah, I would like to reiterate high 8 though. But yeah,
if we did decimal points, like an 8.9.
Yeah. The only reason I wouldn't put it a 9 for me is the pretty much Mysterio's entire plan, like Plan B, I should say, is entirely reliant on coincidence and needing the unlikely to happen execute them all. That specific phrasing. If he had said anything else,
would have worked.
Please issue commands or please execute commands.
Yeah. Stop the drones.
Yeah. If he had said anything else,
affirmative,
anything else, then that's done. Obviously, he could still reveal his identity and what have you, and that would cause him problem. That would cause all the news people to be hanging about out of his house. So that I don't mind. But yeah, it's a lot of that. I think pushes it a bit too far, and the drones, the mystery of the drone damage system. I don't quite understand. But
okay.
But let's get to ranking with an R this movie, right?
Do we go over it so far? Should we read through it? Do you want me to do it? Do you want to do it?
At number 30, we have
I think
World.
we're technically on 33, aren't we now?
I don't fucking know. We'll do... Well, I'm confused because we've got 10 left. 9 left. 10 left. And we've got how many? 1,
Hence
2,
why
3,
I think it's
4,
33.
5, 6, 7, 8. So, it'll be 31.
Oh, I don't know. Maths. Either way, it's not
I don't
accurate.
fucking know. We'll deal with that when it comes to it.
Yeah.
At number 30, we have Thor the Dark World. At number 29, we have The Incredible Hulk. Jumping straight back up to number 20, we've got Captain America the First Avenger, Iron Man 2, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Thor, Black Panther, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Guardians of the Galaxy, Iron Man 3, Spider-Man Homecoming.
You've got the thing.
Yeah, I have. The Avengers, The Avengers Age of Ultron. That's a controversial way around.
It is. I stand by it.
I do. I
Yeah.
do also stand by it. Thor Ragnarok, Captain America, the Winter Soldier, Avengers Endgame, Captain America Civil War, and at the number 1 spot, Avengers Infinity War. I
totally stand by that ranking.
No, so do I.
First time I know we went over it the other day when we kind of put Endgame in, but it's the first time I've really thought about it since May, and I completely agree.
Yeah, I stand by this.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like, top 10 is the only thing that really requires any thought.
Yeah.
Like, anything below that doesn't really fucking matter. It could be in any different order. I think I could happily see Iron Man as being better than Ant-Man and the Wasp. I don't even know how we let that happen, to be fair. Like, Ant-Man could be worse than Doctor Strange, and Black Panther could be better than Captain Marvel. A lot of it doesn't really make a difference in the bottom half. But the top 10, spot the fuck on.
Yeah.
And I know it would anger everyone online.
We'll post it at some point.
Yeah, we will. When it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in 10 weeks. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, indeed. I think this just slots in above Homecoming.
Oh, is it better than Homecoming?
It's tough. I think yes. I think it is. I think the Spider-Man movies, I think Homecoming and Far From Home, less so with No Way Home because it's rehashed villains, but the villains in these Spider-Man movies are fucking top tier. And they both have
great reveals and twists.
Great villain reveals and twists. Yeah. I would Tomb says try with posting our ranking, put it in the Marvel subreddit. The thing is, I like the idea of security, both online and in real life.
Yep.
I don't want to be doxxed.
Fair.
Because those who scour the subreddits for this sort of thing and get involved in these sorts of conversations, anyone who just sees it and gives a passing thumbs up or upvote or whatever it is on Reddit, I think that you're absolutely fine. Just you're silently enjoying Reddit. Those who get involved in these conversations and will likely to, because vocal nerds are scary, they've never felt the touch of a human being. Only that of peanut butter and a lonely dog. We've just got numbers in our face. I personally would slot it in at number 8.
I take it.
Dropping Homecoming down to number 9.
Absolutely, I don't argue with it. Fine. I think
I would happily put them in either order.
Yeah, I exactly the same. It's probably interchangeable depending on my mood.
Mm-hmm.
I accept it as being 8. It's probably an easier watch than Homecoming because Homecoming does have a certain amount of origin still somehow, to a degree.
Well, it's building up to the Spider-Man we then know.
Yeah.
And it has the cardinal sin of taking his stuff away.
Yes. So, yeah, fine. I agree with 8. 8 for Far From Home.
Which, to be fair, with the movies we've had so far, is not a bad standing whatsoever.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
that tea must be chilly.
it's tepid.
Yeah.
But with tea, I don't mind. Coffee, I would have vomited.
Please don't do that.
I'm not going to do that.
I've had to clean up chocolate you've spat up in here before.
That was very funny.
Was.
I don't even remember what you said. Something about placentas.
I don't.
Because
Was it?
because the clip only it's not an official. We just recorded it off of our phones, but it's just you saying placenta and then I laugh and choke up.
Fuck no.
So either it's placenta or you just said Santa a bit funny.
Maybe French Santa.
Maybe French Santa.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? Oh, jingle all the way.
Well, do you know what has been really nice about today?
My presence. Although you had that on Wednesday.
Wasn't what I was going to say. Just that we've slipped back into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like we never left.
Slipping in some fingers. Now she's gone. Sleeping with the light on.
coming up on the channel Saturday again. Admit One will return with the next Marvel movie, and I'm not sure what it is because the order from here confuses the fuck out of me. Black Widow, good. Not looking forward to watching that.
Neither am I.
Do you know what? I think I've only watched it once,
and it was fine.
Yeah,
I agree. There are some good elements to it. I
am looking forward to watching it because you'll be watching a movie on my TV in Dolby Vision IMAX. Unlike this, I had to watch on a 4K Blu-ray, which I say like a bad thing because it isn't, because it still looked fucking great. But the whole time I was watching, going, I wish this was Dolby Vision IMAX because it's not on Disney Plus.
I swear they were, because we had.
I thought they were as well. Yeah, I'm confused. But then I was like, maybe they didn't add it. Maybe they only added some.
Because we've had the conversation before of the fact that they were on there, but they weren't in Dolby Vision IMAX. I could have sworn that at some point they were on Netflix, Disney Plus.
Spider-Man.
At least Homecoming.
On Disney Plus. I'm gonna find out. UK. Far From Home will be coming to Disney Plus United Kingdom on 25th November 2022.
It wasn't fucking there, though. So clearly something's changed, or it went away again.
Huh? I'll have to check this in a minute. Because I'll be honest with you, I didn't look. I just believed you when you said it's not there. I didn't look.
Yeah, I scrolled through the MCU. I scrolled through the Infinity Saga.
Did you search it?
No. I just scrolled through the Infinity Saga.
I wonder if it's just not included in that bit. I wonder if you search it if it comes up.
That'd be real dumb. If that's the case. Let's have a look.
I mean, I would argue, a bit dumb that you wouldn't search, just to double check.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it be included in the list where it should be?
I fully understand. I fully understand that. I just feel like always double check. Search bars are fucking mental, and just systems are fucked. That's all. But, it might not be on there. You might be bang on. I didn't look myself. I'm just surprised because I can't find any.
I always forget that my phone hates your Wi-Fi. I don't understand.
I don't understand why. We'll check it after the show in a minute.
Indeed.
Oh, okay. Isn't there? Because Matt searched and said it wasn't there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Interesting. So bizarre. I can't know. I'll just
maybe
research name.
Yeah.
What I did find. So, this is the first time I've put a 4K Blu-ray on this TV through the PlayStation 5. And I first started playing, I was like, why does this look weird? It looks weird. So I looked at my picture settings, and it was in game mode still. And I was like, my PlayStation, my TV is supposed to be smarter than this. It's supposed to work out I'm not playing a game and take it out of game mode. It's the whole fucking setting point in this TV. What's happening? Went to change the picture setting, and it said, you cannot do this whilst VRR is enabled. Oh. So I had to turn off VRR, both on the PlayStation and on the TV, before I could take it out of game mode.
That's strange.
Which was very weird. But taking it out of game mode made it look really nice, and I was fine. I was happy with it. I was like, I need to remember to switch this back on afterwards.
Yes.
And probably the last time I'll ever watch a 4K Blu-ray. Where possible. Because... I'd rather watch it in Dolby Vision IMAX.
I mean, all of the others going forward, other than No Way Home,
are
going to be on...
I think I've got No Way Home on Bravia, as well as on Bravia Core as well. I think. As well as on 4K Blu-ray. But we'll see. Yeah, but it still looked mighty pretty. I haven't watched a TV in the dark... I haven't watched like a movie in the dark on my TV in a good while. It's been a while since I've done it. And it was last night. Sat there and watched it, sound system up, everything blacked out, and I was like, fuck man, this is a good TV.
Yeah, well, we can have more of those nights in the coming weeks, because we've got many of those to do, and then we've got Fast and Furious as a new entry, we've got Mission Impossible as a new entry, we've got to add to those rankings.
Do we want to talk about the show plan? Do we want to tell people what we're going to be doing? Or do we want to keep it under wraps for a bit?
We may as well begin to set the seeds.
Yep.
Begin to lay the foundation, as it were.
Lay some pipe, yeah.
Basically, we're becoming a porn channel. Laying pipe left, right, and centre.
Oh, yeah, that means that, doesn't it?
Yes. Did you not mean that?
I was going for a shit euphemism. There is a euphemism like that.
I don't know. Laying logs.
Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking. It's like, yeah, laying logs, dropping logs. Something like that. Doing a massive steaming turd. There you go.
Forming a cult. Now, essentially, we will be finishing... The plan is we will be finishing our MCU run. This will continue to be our weekly Admit One and what have you, and probably some bits sprinkled in as well with Spider-Man and Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed Mirage is out next week. I think we plan to do some form of content around that. We'll probably do a press start special of some form, maybe with a live playthrough, maybe, we might need a capture card. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But something like that. Spider-Man 2 will be the same. I'm planning on doing an unboxing video of Spider-Man 2, so there'll be some of that kind of content happening again. And we'll probably do like a spoiler cast on something like Spider-Man 2 as well. So there will be some...
And Creed probably as
yeah,
well.
so
That
there'll be
might be the only
some
thing we do.
press start specials. But basically, press start will only ever be specials going forward.
Mm-hmm.
Press start, as you once knew it, is gone.
Indeed.
It is gone.
And, for the most part, when the MCU is over, as is Admit One. Admit One is no longer going to be a weekly thing where we pick some form of nonsense movie and nonsense show to talk about because we have got nothing else because content has dried up.
Yeah.
Forcing us to
It's
get
gone.
closer and closer to driving some form of cattle rod into our brains.
I mean, you literally ran away for like a month and a half.
Yeah. That was less rabbit hole related, to be fair, though. That was more everything.
For sure.
But what we...
Hey, now just to clarify to him, it's not going away completely. It just will no longer be a weekly show. Press start will only ever come up if there is something
to talk about.
very specific to talk about.
Indeed. Indeed. Yes, Rich has just mentioned Rich's gaming nights on Fridays will not be going anywhere. They will... obviously, when he decides to bring them back, when he feels like he wants to bring them back, given current situation, they will be continuing on, and they'll get some revamped. What the fuck is the word I'm looking for?
Branding / graphics.
Thank you. Branding was and graphics. Yes, and we revamped and redesigned and reset to kind of match the motif, if you will, of the rest of the channel. Essentially, what's really going to be happening when new MCU movies come out, we will obviously
We'll do an Admit One to continue with the ranking.
add them to the ranking. Same with Mission Impossible.
Yep.
Same with Fast and Furious. There probably will be other movies or franchises we want to do. I would like to, at some point, go through and rank the PlayStation productions.
Oh, hell yeah. Basically, if there is something very specific we want to do and talk about,
we will do it.
We will do it when that time is right. We're not going to force a weekly show, because forcing a weekly show is driving us crazy because we were talking about things we didn't want to necessarily talk about and trying to find ways to fill content, and it's fucking exhausting trying to do this every week.
Indeed.
Especially when shit's not working.
Especially shit's not working, and like especially when you're trying to do even less, like a news show.
Yeah.
When there's no news, there's no games, and you're just really scraping the bottom of the barrel, and to the point where we're not even interested in the conversation we're having.
Yes.
But because we don't care about any of this, like whatever. Like if there is a couple of news stories that we aren't that interested in, but there is a big story we are interested in, then that's fine. We can do that. But or just talking about movies for the sake of talking about movies and forcing things to do. Most of the franchises we've done, I'm sure we would have done anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
But we're getting to that point now where we were getting to the point where we've kind of scraped it a little bit. And so there'll be things going forward. But there will still be some scheduled regular
programming.
Because while they are becoming, Admit One and Press Start are becoming as and when there will be no weekly show, no.
Other than the gaming stream, when that comes back.
Yes. In terms of podcast content, there will be no weekly show. What we will be doing is the Rabbit Hole show will become our main show. And that will be once a month. That'll be a monthly show where we will talk about whatever the fuck we want to. Whether that could very well be a mini Admit One in there. It could very well
Stick with your train of thought. Stick with your train of thought.
I'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Because, well, actually, no, it absolutely was not. It'll be a monthly show. We can talk about chocolate, as Hannah's just put in the thing. We will still do our Goes Rogues. They'll just be part of the.
There might be
a
a bit where we talk about a video game, or a particular news story, or a movie thing,
or just something that we.
Passion Films is part of that as well.
Passion Films we can do as part of that, or if there's one where we
particularly want to do something as a particular Admit One ad hoc. Yeah. The idea being is that where possible, the idea of doing it monthly, it gives us a little bit more time to prep, but it also hopefully means that on every one of those shows, it can be the three of us. It can be me, Jack, and Rich. Which obviously leads to the second part of this as well as mentioning. So Charlie is going to be far less often. Not that he was often anyway. Just because Charlie's lifestyle has changed, his work situations have changed, he can't commit to scheduling. So where Charlie can do something and wants to do something and he's available,
in the same way any other guest is welcome. Tomb says, is Velocipasta still a possibility? I'm sorry, Tomb, it never was. I'm afraid.
Was never on the cards.
But yes, so he's
yes, Hannah, exactly.
Far less often than almost never, in the sense of Charlie is taking a seat back into the guest role as opposed to a member of the team, so to speak. But as we say, this isn't because we've gone fuck you, Charlie. This is just because
we chatted as a group, and he was like, I can't commit to that kind of thing. No worries.
Which is fair.
No worries.
Fair
cool.
play. So it will just be a welcome guest whenever he so pleases.
Absolutely. But the idea then being when we do the Rabbit Hole show every month, it can be the three of us, and we can all bring something forward, and we can hopefully have more fun with it and do a wider range of things. And then when those big shows or these big films or whatever, big games come up and we want to talk about it, we'll have that platform to do so, and we'll have the time to do it.
We'll have the time to do so. We'll have time to do one thing we've always wanted to do and find more time to do is scripted, edited
sketch videos and stuff like that.
List videos, music, things like that, and that gives us the time to do it. The month gives us the time to focus on things like thumbnails and titling and things like that, stuff that actually helps, and clips and things like that, things that actually boost. So hopefully, not only will it become a better show, it will hopefully, fingers crossed, in an ideal world, become a more successful one as well. Yeah. So that is what we will be doing going forward. But that won't be starting until like December.
Yeah, just because we want to do the MCU and get that out of the way first.
We're going to finish the MCU. If we started the monthly thing now, it will be...
We're back to square one.
Well, yeah. If we start the monthly thing now with the MCU, we would be like... We'd just be doing one MCU movie until next fucking June. Yeah. Or like, not even June, probably later than that, July.
Yeah.
But... So.
And if we try to do both, it would just put us in the same situation. We haven't got the time to do it, so it just doesn't work.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So
just get this out of the way. But this is also a perfect time to do this because obviously the MCU ranking was never something Rich was on every episode of anyway. Especially given the time, he wouldn't fucking be able to, for obvious reasons. So we're in this position, and we'll go from there. So in theory, that won't kickstart until December.
I think we worked out the other day that potentially the first one might be the end of year show.
I think it will be regardless. It's just whether or not that is December or January. Hopefully not January, because that again would give us a 2-month gap.
Bless me.
You're blessed.
Thank you. So yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully everyone is on board and there's some stuff for enjoy. And obviously it's been really nice to see a couple of familiar faces or familiar names this evening.
Familiar usernames.
To join us back. And as we always say, thank you for your support. But please share with your friends, get more people in the Discord, get people to come and join the streams, because that's what's going to help this grow. And it's going to be better for everyone if it grows, not just us. It will be better for you guys as well, because naturally you'll get better content and you'll get more interaction with people in the chats, and that's what we love. We love having everyone chatting in the Discord. We love having everyone chatting in the Twitch streams. That's what's fun about this and doing this. So
that's definitely why we've kept doing this live as opposed to pre-recorded like we used to.
So the more people involved, the better that's going to be for us and for you. So please, share with your friends, get them to come along, do whatever you can to help us in that way, and it's going to help you as well. And it's going to be better for everyone.
Indeed. Did you want to ramble about some game stuff off your chest?
Probably, but I don't remember what it was on my event about, It was like the beginning of the show. That was an hour and a half ago. I said that.
There is a lot of stuff to ramble about.
Yeah, I just don't remember what it was.
The Xbox stuff? Because there's a lot of stuff in that.
No, I don't remember. Probably. It's all mental.
I see. I was looking forward to that conversation.
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've been I'm not used to this. Okay, it's been a while. Video games are still crazy. Okay, there's some games coming out I'm looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to Mirage next week.
You know where I am right now on Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I'm fucking rock hard.
And I'm properly looking forward to Spider-Man 2. Watching Spider-Man yesterday, all the way watching, I was like, I'm so ready for Spider-Man 2. I'm really looking forward to it.
You know, I didn't think about the game once.
I'm just in that. I
know
it's coming.
Today, I didn't think about. I don't tend to get too far ahead of myself when it comes to games.
It's like 3 weeks.
Yeah, I know, but there is a game that I'm more
there's a
excited
game in between
for
it. Yeah, fair. I'll tell you what it is, actually. The thing for me with Spider-Man 2 is obviously I'm getting the collector's edition.
Mm-hmm. So that's a big game.
It's a big game, and I don't get as many collector's editions as I used to, but that always felt like something special to me. So the fact that that's happening with this, it just makes it feel exciting. Mm-hmm. It's back to... I haven't had that in a while.
Rich says I'm too in deep with Baldur's Gate 3 at the moment to think about other stuff, which is absolutely fair. I've kind of taken a pause on Baldur's Gate 3 for a couple of reasons. One...
Very sorry. I need to go and get a tissue because my nose is just Niagara Falls for some reason. I don't know
Fair enough. One, I've become obsessed with Assassin's Creed. And so I've been playing the DLC for Assassin's Creed Origins. Like, many of you who spent any time with me in person knows I have a completely obsessive personality where something will trigger. And that will be it. To the point, I haven't got fucking books.
Just want to point out, I just walked outside, looked in the living room, and Millie is playing God of War.
Nice.
Very proud. Very proud.
Very nice indeed. But also...
If I go in there in a minute and she tells me she hates it, divorce.
Indeed. But also, with the potential for a joint playthrough, I kind of want to save it for that.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Yeah, I kind of don't... Because it's a big-ass game, I really have a difficult time with...
Hannah says, should she not be supporting your podcast? Probably, but I am actually happy with her playing God of War, because I've wanted her to play... There's a number of games I've been wanting her to play, and I've been trying to convince her to. And this is one of them.
She's had enough of our rambling, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that she has to put up our rambling after the show for many hours. So
yes,
and she had to put up with it on Wednesday as well.
To be fair,
we weren't the worst people on that trip.
No, we absolutely weren't.
There was a point. So we went to Busted in London. Me, Jack, Camilla, and her mum. And there was a point we were out for dinner at Pizza Express. I can't remember exactly the carnage that was going on between them, but Jack was just like, "Should we sit on a different table?"
It was they're trying to decide whether they went for Pinot or Prosecco, and neither would make a decision. So I was like, "Should we just sit there, disassociate with this, with the rambling?" We did end up swapping seats so we could share a romantic meal
some dough balls,
in front of your wife. Yeah.
Oh man, those chili dough balls, the chili honey ones.
The hot honey dough balls were fucking
good.
Spectacular.
They were good.
Do you know how atrocious I felt after that meal? Because I'd eaten more bread.
Oh yeah.
Than you could possibly imagine. I had dough balls.
And then you had to stand for an hour and a half.
Don't get me started on the forcing me to stand in the seated area of a fucking... Were it me, I would have fucking mini-gunned my way to being able to sit back down again.
It was you. I'm very confused.
Well, up to me.
Sorry. Oh, I see.
Hot honey dough balls were amazing. The ones you had were pretty good as well.
They were good, but they were not as good as the hot honey ones, yeah.
They're not as good as banging. Fucking banging. Standing...
Yes.
Literally every single person stood up. I'm
Yeah.
like, you sweaty fucking cunt thistles, you bought seats! Use them, especially considering the person in front of me looked like she was gonna fucking die. Like, I don't know if they made it home. And the person behind me, this has got nothing to do with the standing, but the person behind me...
He was just annoying.
He was annoying, kneed me several times,
Yeah.
and just like swatted me with various pieces of apparel, but also stank of pepperami. Like it smelled like he had deep-throated 4 packets of them on the way in and was just burping pepperami at me. And not pepperoni, pepperami specifically.
Yeah, I get you.
Not that pepperoni isn't highly processed, but even more highly processed. I was like, good God, I think even busted can smell this. Jesus. Other than that, it was fucking great.
Yeah.
Great night. Just a
That's
shame.
exactly what happened, Hannah. Yeah,
Problem is,
exactly.
as soon as one person's... Yes, yeah, it was just... It wasn't the Mexican wave, it was the Mexican country is what it was. I'm sure I smell of hot honey dough balls. Probably, but that definitely smells better than pepperami coming off of someone.
Agreed.
Indeed. I'm just waffling because I want to keep speaking.
No, I get... Well, I've met you. That makes perfect sense.
I also, like... I want the show to keep going.
I know.
Not this particular... I had it in my head. You got it in my head that we were going to waffle some games.
I'm really sorry. I just didn't think that actually would, so I hadn't really prepared anything. Video games are crazy. Jim Ryan's gone.
He has.
Well, is going.
Indeed.
Yeah. Big.
It is big. It is big news.
Actually,
as I said in the Discord, like someone made a joke about him going to replace Phil Spencer, and I did make the joke that Roadkill could replace.
Well, there was some moron on Twitter was going like,
no,
this is amazing. This is the best news for PlayStation. Jim Ryan's done nothing good for PlayStation. No, I don't agree with that statement. Jim Ryan's done a lot of good for PlayStation, but I also don't. Even if you agreed with that statement, I'd argue he's done nothing bad either. Exactly, but I actually do genuinely think that it is good news for PlayStation. I think PlayStation needs a slightly different turn up because although he's not done anything bad, I don't think he's also been the best we've had.
I don't think he's done anything great.
No.
He hasn't pushed anything.
No, and I do think that Sony have made more mistakes recently than they ever have done. Mm-hmm. Like the last few years in particular, there's been many conversations of you and I, both on shows and then in the last 6 months of what are they fucking doing. And maybe they do just need someone else heading it up to change that. Just pump a new lease of life into it. Change the way they do things. Just do things differently. That could be a good thing. That could be a really good thing.
Them letting Sean Layden go was a fucking error.
Well, I think the problem is that some of the higher ups wanted to do things differently. How Sean Layden wanted to do it, he disagreed and went and left.
No, I agree.
And fair fucks.
Fair that he left. Not fair that they wanted to do
fair that he
anything
left.
differently from the guy who brought the platform up to this level.
Yeah, but also a lot of his predictions of what he said have fucking come true.
Yep.
Should have listened to him.
Yep. Absolutely should have done. But he's now gone to work for Scum. So.
Yeah. Where did he go? Tencent. Yeah, you're right.
So he works for the CCP.
Yeah.
Which is not great, but at the same time. Like, we can't really blame someone for not turning down that much money.
He doesn't work directly for the CCP.
No, he works for a company that works for
that
works under the CCP and follows all of their rules and regulations and what have you.
But yeah, that's a big thing for Sony, and I know this has been. I mean, this is the thing about gaming. It's still the same conversations. We haven't done a podcast in coming up on 6 months, and the big topics are still the same thing. Microsoft trying to buy Activision, and it's all fucked. And are Sony ever going to tell us what games they're making? Like, they're the conversations. We would have had 6 more months of that.
I hadn't thought about it in such straightforward, to the point wordings and phrasings, but yes, absolutely. That is still the conversation. The only difference now is some of the games that we're excited about are a bit closer. Nothing's happened in terms of releases. Oh no, Final Fantasy 16 happened for me. That was a big deal for me. Obviously, Baldur's Gate came out. Starfield came and went like a fart in the wind. So there's that big oh dear for poor old Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't quite understand how that's happened.
I do. It's a Bethesda title. They're not as good as everyone makes out.
No, but they stick around a long time, but as part of the conversation. Fallout 76 is still part of the conversation.
Not in a positive way,
No,
though.
no, I never said.
Yeah.
I didn't say that it's not being received.
True.
I just said it's not being talked about at
It
all.
is weird how it did just...
It's gone. Like, it spiked for like 2 weeks, maybe. But then now, it's not that people are talking negatively about it. No one's talking about it.
What that means is that game is fine.
Yeah.
That just basically is the sign that the game is distinctly fine. There is nothing particularly positive or negative to say. It's fine.
From what I've seen, it's a Bethesda game with some overly complicated stuff.
And some amazing potato physics.
Some potato physics. And as in literally the physics of potatoes, not potato in an
internet meme colloquialism type way. Yeah.
But yeah, it's completely fine. And they've hidden all of the good stuff behind 30 hours of campaign.
Yeah,
and made it the end game content, which is how not to design a game 101.
Bethesda not knowing how to design a game.
They know how to design a game.
I personally don't think they've ever known. Well, I remember I had a big talking point when Skyrim came out. So I remember I worked at GameStation when Skyrim came out, and I remember a big talking point then was, good luck finishing this game without the strategy guide. And I remember a few of us at work saying, like, if you need a strategy guide to finish the game, it's not been designed well.
You don't need a strategy guide.
No, I didn't. But that was a talking point at the time.
Yeah,
I remember that being a talking point.
Those who've been hit with a frying pan at birth. Like, I don't quite... Like, that game, there was never a point of, I need a guide to finish this game.
It's not to beat the campaign. It's I think it was just to do everything.
I'd argue that's pretty much every game.
But yeah, that's true.
So if you wanted 100% everything in collectibles... and things like that. Who's not using a guide?
The people that wrote the guide, I guess. Thank you, Philippe Brun10, for following.
Thank you, indeedly do.
I probably pronounced that wrong. Felipe Brun10? Brunio?
Brum? The car with eyes?
Brunio. Fucking hell, that's a throwback.
That's a very British childhood.
Yeah.
Like 1994 childhood.
That and Herbie.
Herbie, yeah. Herbie predates us. Definitely.
Yeah, I know it does, yeah.
I don't know if Brum does, to be fair. It might do. It was just on when we were kids.
Yeah, to Google just out of curiosity. But yeah, Starfield, fucking weird.
Yeah, I think it's kind of just come and gone like a fart in the wind. I think some of the fucking leaks from Xbox recently have been...
Yeah, 1991 was when Brum first aired.
So it does predate us, but
only
not
just,
much.
yeah.
But not much. I think... Yeah, the leaks are fucking mental. Some of the stuff. Some of the numbers we've seen in terms of Game Pass.
Oh my god, the Game Pass numbers. Like, and I don't understand how that's not being spoken about in a logical way. How there's like fucking no one out there other than Colin pointing out that it literally proves what we've been saying for ages and what Jim Ryan has been saying, etc. That Game Pass is not sustainable. It is hemorrhaging more money than it makes because the amount of money they are paying for these games. Some of the games, the amount of money was probably the budgets for games.
Mm-hmm.
Like it wasn't it Jedi Survivor? It cost them $300 million to get that onto Game Pass.
Yeah, and $250 million for Suicide Squad, which probably isn't the budget because that game's been in development since 2015, has been done all sorts of reboots and gone back and tried to fix things. So that budget is probably out of control. But so that's they worked.
Well, it's more that game is over budget.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But
I mean,
so it was worked out essentially that Game Pass brings it. It will be though. Jedi Survivor will be on.
Yeah, it's coming to Game Pass, and they've paid $300 million for it. That's 100% confirmed. Facts is in the documents.
Because EA Play is part of Game Pass, so Jedi Survivor will come to Game Pass. But I didn't realise that they had to pay individually per fucking game. But they worked out that they make probably about $3 billion a year from Game Pass. So extrapolate that, it's about $250 million a month.
Yeah.
Which means if they buy a big game for Game Pass, that's the monthly budget spent.
Yeah.
That's their monthly profit spent. But they also need to pay all of the staff. They need to put money into the development of the games that are in development. They still need to pay the licenses of the games that are already on Game Pass. Yeah. They need to pay all of this stuff. So when they get a big game, Game Pass is at a loss.
Yeah.
And we already know that Game Pass hasn't grown
Yeah, that was the next point. Is that we
Game Pass
also
hasn't grown in numbers.
the numbers are stagnant
Since so essentially, the Microsoft reports that it hasn't grown since April 22, wasn't it? Right?
I think so.
Yeah. But other reports from not outside Xbox, but about streaming services in general, suggest and seem pretty confidently say that streaming services haven't grown in over 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's not just Game Pass, that's PlayStation Plus, that's Netflix and Disney Plus and all these sorts of things, because we got this big boost from COVID in all of these different things. We obviously got a huge boost when there was fuck all to do, and then that started dropping off at around 2021, the beginning of 2021, because people were going back to work and what have you. And then it just remained stagnant. The people who wanted it had it.
Yeah.
And that's essentially the problem, to the point where then the next big talking point was the fact that Phil Spencer said that if they don't hit a certain number within the next few years, 2028 to 2030, Xbox are just going to stop.
Yeah, so this was part of their... And this is completely all the stuff that he said under oath in the stuff with the FTC in court. So there were some documents that had their projections of where they thought Game Pass was going to be in terms of availability or a user install base outside of the Xbox platform. So what they mean by this is the amount of users that are using Game Pass on hardware that isn't an Xbox. Yeah. So that'll be running on PC or on a phone or something like that. Or, God forbid, goes to Switch or PlayStation or something. It will. And basically, their predictions were already that there would be more people on those services not on Xbox. And he said that he thinks it needs to be more people not on their hardware. And if by 2027, they're not in a better position than what the projection is in terms of more people not on the hardware, so that's more people without an Xbox, they will probably leave the gaming industry. That's what they said. Microsoft's plans are, if by 2027, if they aren't having their users not on their own hardware, they are going to leave the video games industry. Yes, Tomb, stop the whole thing. The consoles, Game Pass, everything. That's what he said in court. If by 2020, and I need to make this really clear, what the man that runs Xbox said.
Did he say more people off than are on console, or did he just say they need more people that are off console?
If I remember rightly, it was more people off console than are on it.
So instead of just the number of people that are off the console...
Sorry, Rich, remove...
What the fuck does that mean? Have you heard of Marvel Psych?
Don't read it aloud. You're giving them the what they want. Just remove...
I don't know what that even means.
Hang on. Phil Spencer, Xbox leaving gaming. Let me find the article. Here we go. Loading. Buffering. Buffeting. Okay, so what he said was, quote, I can safely say that if we do not make more progress than this off console, we would exit the gaming business. If this were the outcome, I don't believe we'd still be in the business. The projection he's referencing to shows more people off console.
Yeah, I read that. I read that as bad, but I don't read that in the same way you do.
But he says, if we do not make more progress than this off console.
Yeah, I think he's more worried about the numbers of people. Like, people aren't using Game Pass off. I don't think he's specifically requesting that there are more people off of console.
That's exactly. What else could that mean?
As in, he wants the people that are off console to go up. But not...
Sorry, what do you mean go up?
Like, as in, he wants more people playing off of the console, but not specifically he just wants more people on Game Pass, like more people that don't necessarily have a console to use Game Pass, but not necessarily at the detriment to the amount of people that have an Xbox.
No, but it shows what I'm saying. But what it does, yes, I agree. But what that shows is that they're not. It proves what you and I have said for about 3 years. They're not interested in selling hardware. That's not their focus. So what I mean is that what he's saying, what Phil Spencer is saying there is, we don't care if we sell hardware. We just want to sell this service. And if we don't sell this service, if we don't beat our own projections in the next 3 years, 3 or 4 years, we'll just have to quit the industry. And that's crazy. That's a mad thing for a big COO to say.
It is. It's fucking ridiculous.
Because that also, it shows a really one-dimensional view on what they want to do, and actually what they should be doing is looking at every avenue they can to make money, and they should be going, how do we get as many people into our ecosystem as possible, regardless of where they are, and ideally in the way that makes us the most money. And Game Pass isn't the way that makes the most money. Surely they make more money if they're selling games and selling hardware than what they would do just on Game Pass. Because how much money Game Pass is costing them?
Oh yeah. This goes to more what I kind of think that Phil Spencer doesn't realise how stupid he is.
Well, yes.
I think Phil Spencer is the stupidest business head that we've had.
Yes.
Because he doesn't understand what money is. And the only reason he has a job is because Microsoft have no idea what's going on.
For sure. No, they absolutely don't.
They have no idea because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because Xbox is 6% of Microsoft's money.
Richard, spam. Remove the spam is what we meant, please. Thank you.
It's 6% of Microsoft's income. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
At
some point, you would think someone at Microsoft's going to look at the books and go, "What's this department we've got down here hemorrhaging money?"
Well, haven't you seen some of the emails that he's fucking sent?
Yeah, this is also true.
The head of Microsoft, just like we haven't announced the prices for this yet, have we?
Yeah.
We haven't announced prices. Surely you should fucking know.
Yeah.
Like you should know this. Like yes, okay, it's a small part of your business, but yeah, they just don't give a shit. Whereas Sony and PlayStation is 50%.
Yeah, absolutely.
50% of everything Sony makes. That includes movies and tech and all sorts. They have an audio division as well, so it includes all of that stuff. 50%, whereas 6%. And obviously Nintendo is like their whole fucking thing. But yeah.
See, I also think Phil Spencer's coming out and saying that if they don't progress more than their projections in the next 3-4 years, which, by the way, as a business is a very small amount of forward forecasting, also shows and proves that it's not sustainable. What they're saying is we can't sustain it at this over the next 3 years. So we're going to have huge exponential growth to be able to survive. He's basically confirmed what we've been saying for 2 years, which is it's not going to work. This will fail before it succeeds.
Yeah,
And he's basically said it verbatim, and it's just being overlooked by so much of the industry, and I can't wrap my head around it. That's business 101.
People don't think that's going to happen, but at the same time, they're saying they want exponential growth in a system that hasn't grown in 2 years.
The only way they seem to be trying to develop that system is just to they're just injecting money into it.
Yeah. Which they can do because it's Microsoft, but eventually you're going to get cut off. Because if you're not making money, then eventually, it doesn't matter how much money you are, it's a business.
Well,
because they can't. They are too fucking far in.
Yeah, they're too far in.
They have built their smaller share.
It's more like I don't know what Wattpad is, and Wattpad sounds like it's a spammy thing.
It doesn't look like a spam message, though, to be fair. You are correct. But anyway. So I don't really care. But,
I mean, yeah, I don't really care. It just felt like a spammy message. Apologies if it's not a spammy message, Tyler. Apologies if that's the case. I may have misinterpreted, and I do apologise.
What was it?
Because I can admit when I'm wrong.
Indeed. What were you saying?
Phil Spencer's a moron?
Phil Spencer, but what specifically?
Why they haven't shut the service down?
Oh, they can't shut the service down because they despite the fact that they've got the smallest of the three audiences and platforms and everything within there. The big three gaming, like their entire platform is built on Game Pass now.
Yeah.
They can't because like it's so ingrained that people don't even buy games that aren't on Game Pass on Xbox. They buy them somewhere else. Every single third-party game sells more copies on PlayStation.
Which also makes sense
because there are more PlayStations. But so that does make sense. But people just wait for Game Pass. That you've conditioned people, and a reason why we've always said it's been bad for the industry is because it conditions people to not pay for games, and then we're gonna get shit microtransaction nonsense all over the place, and that's essentially we're restarting the problem we had in 2012. By people just not willing to pay for anything. So it's all going in a circle. And another thing that fucking came out was, so numbers ended up getting leaked and people have extrapolated, essentially. So it was...
That's a wonderful word.
It is. It was like the high 70s percentage of all Xbox Series consoles are the Xbox Series S. Which means if you extrapolate further into different numbers released by different companies on like how many consoles they do with this, that, and the other, you can kind of work out how many Xbox Series there are, which means that 20% or whatever means there are only 6 million Xbox Series X's in the world, in the wild, as it were, which is a seventh of the amount of PS5s out there. And I wouldn't necessarily argue because no one wants a higher console. It's because you gave them the option of a lesser one. And I think that, I always said that was stupid and an error. And I think that was your biggest error because there are more casual people who would have been willing to spend the money for a Series X. But because you've given them the option, they didn't. So you've lost sales there. You've lost money on income. And also there's the rumor of that new Xbox coming.
But basically got confirmed in there. Well, that they confirmed that it exists within their eco. They've designed it.
At some point, there was doesn't necessarily mean
it's still happening. Yeah.
It just means that at some point it was. Which, if they do that, I think, to be fair, for Xbox that's an error because no one even wants the main console.
Agreed.
People want the lesser one.
The only way you'd have to be able to make that work is if you drop the Series S as well. So that's the only console you sell.
But then you would have to have this point of you need disparity. You need to drop the rule where you have to develop games.
I think they're going to anyway. I think they're going to have to anyway because they've done it for Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, they made a caveat for one game.
But
they refused to do that for their own game.
I know, but Colin said that, or one of the guys on Sacred Symbol said this and is right. Is like, surely the first party studio is going to be like, hang on, why the fuck can these guys have this caveat and drop this rule, but we're main studios and we can't? And are going to start questioning it. I think they're going to have to drop that rule.
For sure. But the only reason I think they wouldn't is because
they know there's more of the S's in the wild. So that's their main console.
80%.
Yeah, that's their install base.
Yeah, that's like you're losing.
But then if you drop the S and the X completely, so the only thing that's available is this new one. I mean, I know it's then technically not a mid-gen refresh.
No,
it's a new console. But then that does take that problem out of the equation.
But it also eliminates everyone who's bought a console.
Not that Microsoft care about that. That wouldn't be the first time they've done that. Do you remember the whole... We have a console for someone that wants to play Xbox games. It's called the Xbox 360.
That's true, but you can play Xbox 360 games on there.
Oh, yeah, but you couldn't. That was a whole thing. The Xbox Ones... What was that? The Xbox Ones weren't backwards compatible or something?
No. Because the Xbox has always strived on backwards compatibility, hasn't it? Oh, maybe, I don't know.
Hang on, let me find it. It was Don Matic, whatever his name was, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Don Matrick. We have a...
I think there aren't that many. Jim said, what about Reasonable Amends? I didn't see that.
Oh, it was about...
We've got a beastie. We've got a beastie friend.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It was about the fact you had to always be online on Xbox One to get your digital right management stuff authorized.
So basically,
And
they were
his
saying
response was, there is a console where you don't need to be
have it,
online.
and it's called the 360.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus Christ. That's not as bad, but in the same vein of saying, if you can't afford a PS3, get a second job.
Yeah.
Which is.
It's a lot.
mental.
It's a lot like the whole. I know you're trained as a ballerina, but why not become a doctor now in the COVID pandemic?
Yeah, there is that. So a lot of nonsense has been occurring in the video game industry. That's for sure. That's for sure. All of that chaos with Xbox. There's obviously that Sony hack that doesn't seem to have affected.
No, it doesn't matter. See, the chaos of Xbox is happening, and it frustrates me, but it doesn't really affect me at all because I don't care. I'm never getting an Xbox. I'm not getting another
getting
an Xbox. I don't care.
I think by the time
I would like to borrow yours at some point to try Starfield, but as you offered at one point. But I'm not buying an Xbox for shit. Don't care.
New Forza's out imminently as well.
Is it? Nice. My biggest concern still, and I still think it's crazy that we don't have a full slate and understanding a timeline of what's happening with Sony's first party.
I think there has to be, otherwise
I think
they've lost their plot. I think Spider-Man will come out and then there'll be something.
It'll be November. They've done shows in November before.
Several times. PSX
November. They did a big PlayStation 5 showcase around November.
Yeah. I think they'll get Spider-Man out of the way and then do that.
They've got to.
They have to because they can't. Surely they're not waiting for Helldivers.
For sure. And I know
that's February.
There's been people saying, well, we do know what they're coming because they've announced.
We know 3 games.
Yeah,
4 games.
What was it? Fucking what's they called?
To be fair, we know.
Oh my god, why can't I remember what they're called? We know Wolverine. But obviously, we don't know when that's coming.
No, we know those 2.
Yeah, playground.
Some really shit name with a $sign in it.
Yeah.
What's that called? And then the other one, which I can't remember at all what that's called.
And then Helldivers.
Which is February. We know. So that Helldivers is the only one where we're like, yeah, cool, done. And it's not a full-fledged game, clearly, because they're charging £40. And that Sony never do that, so that's mad.
Yeah.
So that's a reasonably big deal. But yeah, we don't. And the other 2 that have been announced, other than Wolverine, are just their games as a service games. Anyway, Kesha.
It's good.
Good gag. I appreciate that. But one of them begins with a C, I swear.
Can't find shit. Looking for it.
But for fuck's sake, I can't type. Don't stop. I really fucking hate everything about your internet. But yeah,
point being, we don't know what those games are. Concord is one of them.
Concord, yep.
The point is, we don't really know what those games are, and obviously they're from new studios, so they mean nothing, and we don't have time frames for them.
And they're games as a service.
And they're games as a service, but also they don't have time frames for them. So, for all intents and purposes, this is the first time we don't know anything.
Yep.
Sony always tell us what's in the pipeline, what the plan is. We don't know, and that's scary. Not because have they not got anything? I'm sure they have.
Oh, I'm sure there's fucking loads.
It's
in the
just
works,
scary because it's a weird thing that we don't know about it, and they're not hyping us up on it. And obviously, there's clearly an issue with the Last of Us factions thing. We know that's an issue because at the beginning of the year, and I know there's still time, but at the beginning of the year, Neil Druckmann was like, I'm looking forward to telling you more about this game later this year. I know there's still a couple of months. We've got time, but we've also had the news that Bungie has supposedly shut it down pretty much.
Well, shut it down. I think
so it's back to some form of drawing board, so that's somewhat alarming. We just don't know what's coming from anyone. I mean, we do know that Cory Barlog is working on a game. Yeah. We've known that. We know that Wolverine is happening. There is heavy, strong rumours that Insomniac also have got another game in the works, which I would imagine is another Ratchet, is my guess. We know that Sucker Punch will be working on something. They've not been doing nothing. since Ghost of Tsushima came out, and it's probably Ghost of Tsushima 2. We do know that there's a bunch of Horizon projects. We know that Naughty Dog have got an actual main game they're working on as well as factions. We know that. Like, there are little pieces of the puzzle. We've had an Uncharted game teased. There are little pieces of the puzzle there, but we've not had any answers, and that's just crazy. It's just weird to me that we are 2 and a bit weeks, 3 weeks away, we're 20 days away from their next big game, and we don't know what's beyond that. And we've never been in a situation where we've got a game coming up and don't know what the next one is, and we just don't know what the next one is. And that's just weird. And I think it'll be. There's been lots of rumors about when there'll be another showcase, and there was loads of rumors there was going to be one in September. It ended up being that little state of play, which was fine. Needed to happen still, I guess. But it's not what we're waiting for. It's not the news we're talking for.
To do in this particular timing.
Yeah.
Yes,
but it's not out of character for Sony to do a big showcase right at the end of the year. They've done that many times. It's when PSX always used to be. Mm-hmm. It was right at the end of the year, because it used to be like end of November, December, because me, Chris Higgins, and Tom, and then our respective partners would always meet up and do a group Christmas thing, and it normally was the same day as PSX, and we'd do it in December, and we'd have a Christmas meal, and we'd all be wearing Christmas jumpers, and then we'd watch PSX. It was PlayStation Christmas. We loved it, and then it went away. But it shows that then they talk about new games, and that's when Uncharted 4 got revealed properly. It's when Last of Us 2 got revealed. Like, a lot of these games got shown at PSX.
We all but know there's another Uncharted as well.
Yeah, and I want to know what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what it is. I want to know who is actually working on it, what it's going to be like, what the quality's going to... I want to know. I want to know these things. Tell me. And I know there's like... And I agree with the idea of don't announce games too early, wait until they're ready. I agree with that. But I think a certain amount of building hype early on is good still. And not knowing what I'm supposed to be excited about, I just don't like. I just want to know what's coming. I don't mind if they tell me that it's not coming till the end of next year. Okay, as long as I know it's coming. At this point.
Yeah, I don't want to know everything that they're working on.
No,
I want to work. There's got to be stuff that is next year.
Yeah.
Tomb says, would Nate be the protagonist in this one too? Doubtful.
Yeah, I would guess not.
Considering the clip we've seen.
Yeah, I would assume not.
A tiny bit of a clip we've seen is not from that PlayStation trailer.
I think
back is not.
Nate would be in it.
Yes. I don't want to say anything in case anyone hasn't played Uncharted.
Basically, I think unless you've got Nate in it, it's not really an Uncharted game.
I'd agree. Yeah.
Personally,
I think he'll be in it, but I don't think he'll be the one you're playing as. But yes, I think it's all very weird. I think there was essentially, Tomb has asked a clip. Essentially, they did a trailer for a generic PlayStation advert a while back, and it had loads of clips of like live action recreations of various different games and things like that. And one of them, we didn't know what it was, but it's very blatantly
it was Uncharted.
Yeah, it was very blatantly Uncharted, but not Nathan Drake. But I don't think Wolverine's next year. I don't think Wolverine is 2024.
I've always said, because of the way Insomniac is laid out, I think there is a possibility it could be, but I think it's unlikely to be at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think it is. So
I just more mean if they came out and said it is 2024, I wouldn't actually be surprised.
I wouldn't be that
by it.
shocked, but I just don't think it is. I think that's 2025 probably. Especially if
free games. Is that what it's called? The other game that was announced with Z. Free
plays or play frees.
I don't remember what it was called. What even studio was it?
Play games. I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I would like, in which case, other than Helldivers, what is next year? And that's the sort of stuff I would like to know. Like if in November they announce the stuff that's supposedly 2024, that's absolutely fine.
Was that? What studio was it that was doing that?
I don't fucking
Fire Sprite?
Or Haven. I don't.
Oh, that might have been Haven's game. Yeah.
I don't fucking know. That goes to show it's a terrible name.
It's really annoying that I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, to the point where I can't even Google it. I remember so little about it that I can't even Google it.
Fair Games.
Fair Games. Fucking shit.
And yeah, it is Haven's. It's Jay Raymond's game.
Fucking shit name. And it's just the games as a service, so I don't really care. I'll check them out. I'll see what they are, but I don't really care.
I want to know what they are.
Yeah, well, yeah, too deeply.
I want to know what Cory Barlog's doing. I just want to know these things.
Yeah, what they need to do, release the game. Release Spider-Man 2. Let that breathe. End of November, beginning of December, do a big showcase and show everything they're planning for 2024. I don't need to see beyond that. I think they've announced Wolverine way too early.
I agree they announced it too early.
So they should,
because that would have been a nice reveal to get in November.
Yeah, or, fucking next November if it's for 2025.
I'll fucking put a little tease in Spider-Man 2 for it.
Yeah, depends when it is. I don't really think you should be announcing games more than a year out. I'm the same with games. I'm the same with movies, because it's just that it benefits no one.
Yeah. And the fact that they kind of do 2 big showcases a year works for that as well, because you could have this one November, December that tells you your plans through till November, December the next year, and then in the June showcase,
you can do one that extends those 6 months.
Yeah.
That goes a little bit beyond that, or if something's needed to be delayed or whatever like that. Yeah.
There's actually the opportunity for that cycle is right in front of them, and they won't take it.
Yep. Yeah, because they want to announce games way too early, and they want to do all this. It's like all the fucking.
But yeah, at the moment they're going the other way, and I think that's actually why it's alarming. Is because we're used to them announcing games fucking 4 or 5 years in advance. So because they haven't announced anything and there's nothing coming, it's like, so what? You're going to announce this stuff, and it's going to be another 4 years away? Hopefully that's not going to be. Hopefully all this means is they're going to announce it and it's going to be
close.
Yeah. But the thing that's alarming and is unusual is you're used to getting a game announcement and having to wait 4 years. So if they announce in November a slate of games and they're not coming out until 2028, that's a fucking problem.
Yeah, essentially what they need to do is not what the Assassin's Creed 15-year anniversary was. That was fucking heinous.
Yeah.
They announced, 6 Assassin's Creed games or something stupid? Was it?
Yeah,
was it that
something
many?
like
Was it that many? Quite a few Assassins. No, I think it was 6 projects, because it wasn't all games, and it wasn't all main games at the very least. But most of them were just weird fucking animated title cards. Essentially, it was like, what a waste. What a point? To the point where 2 of them didn't even have, 3 of them didn't even have fucking names.
Yeah.
Maybe we already knew about Mirage, did we?
Yes, we knew about Mirage at that point. Mainly because it had leaked, I think.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think it probably leaked. So we knew Mirage, that had a name, but then we got codename Jade.
Which is actually called Jade.
Although, I don't know, it's weird, because obviously the trailer for the beta just called it Assassin's Creed Jade, but if you then booted the beta, it called it codename Jade in the beta. So fuck knows. Maybe they just hadn't changed the thing yet.
Maybe.
So have you seen any of the gameplay?
Not properly. I saw some clips.
Some of the conversations are all just like Microsoft Sam. It's very funny.
Oh, okay. I've heard it seems alright for.
Oh yeah, that's obviously.
Is it free?
Don't know. Also, they haven't announced whether or not it has controller support.
Yeah.
It fucking needs controller support. Otherwise, I will not be playing it if it doesn't have controller support. That's for sure. But codename Red and then codename Hex. Fucking stupid. And then the Netflix show. And did they announce the VR game then?
Yeah, it got announced then as well. Yeah.
Also, Sony, can you have a chat with Ubisoft and get the Assassin's Creed Nexus put on PSVR 2, please?
Yeah, that's a mental thing.
Because I would like to be an assassin. I know why it's happened. MetaQuest have given a chunk
almost certainly.
Given a chunk of money to do it exclusively. I can't complain too hard, considering that is Sony's strategy through and through. And there's been a strategy implemented by many a company throughout the ages.
Yeah, Jade is free to play.
I have seen, there is some of the stuff I've seen, it wasn't fully activated in the beta, obviously, but there is some obnoxious microtransaction stuff.
Man, that explains it.
Yeah.
It's the only way people know how to make mobile games.
Yeah, but I think it's because mobile games have always been a race to the bottom, so no one's actually willing to spend any money
Yeah,
on a
no,
mobile
for
game.
sure.
I would prefer to just buy it. I'd buy it on my iPad and just play it if it had controller
To be
support.
fair, it looks half decent.
It does. Like, I would absolutely just grab a controller and play that on my iPad.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't, by the way, just look up Assassin's Creed Jade or Assassin's Creed Codename Jade.
Like, it's obviously not the most highest fidelity fucking game on the
it's meant
planet.
to be played on a phone.
Yeah, it looks, but it probably looks better than what even the PS3 games did. I'd imagine.
Yeah.
We just remember them looking better than what they are.
No,
It's half
I'd
decent.
definitely say look it up. But it's more about like upgrades and weapon upgrades and things like that. Like loot chests and boxes and things like that. But it looks good. It just looks a bit cumbersome on touch controls. So I'm really.
The problem with that is obviously touch controls aren't tactile at all, so it's difficult to like really be pressing things. But
it would definitely look better on a newer phone just because of the screen quality. But the thing with phone games is they don't really. Mobile games don't really have a system where they can run differently on different devices.
No.
Do they just straight up don't work on certain devices. Like I'm like 50-50 on whether or not that phone would be able to play it.
probably not. But I get a new one in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, you won't have that problem. But like the 11 Pro, I wouldn't be surprised if they just went, all Pro Max.
Yeah.
That phone won't run it. Mine definitely will. Obviously yours.
My new one will.
Yours will because it's newer than this. I'm hoping my iPad does because I'd rather play it on that for obvious reasons.
Yeah. There is a beastie in here.
Yes, we've got an idiot flying. But yes, I would fucking love, to the point where I thought about, do I sell the PSVR in exchange for a Meta Quest? I thought about it. I decided.
So there's more library games available to you.
More library of games.
It is a lesser VR.
I know. It's also less faff.
Yes, Tomb.
Yes, yeah, the 15 Pros.
Yeah, the Pros and the Pro Max.
Can run Resi Village 4 remake. Death Stranding is coming to it.
Yep.
I don't know why anyone would fucking want to, but there you go. It's an option. And it's impressive. Certainly impressive.
I don't think it runs them quite as well as what a high-end PC or a PS5 does, but it's not far
obviously
off.
not. No. It's going to be at a lower
No,
resolution.
but there's a lot of fuckers that won't think of it like that. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Obviously, it's not going to be.
It will be the same.
Oh, it runs Mirage natively
Yeah.
as well. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it's not going to run it at 4K 60.
No.
No, it's probably going to be.
And it will definitely have like some lower textures and
Yeah,
stuff like
the
that,
textures
and
won't be as
different
high.
shadow
The output
aliasing.
resolution will be lower, or maybe the output resolution will be what the screen can handle, but the textures will be missing. And obviously, it won't be 60. I think you'll be like pushing 30, maybe. Well, I'll say you're probably definitely going to get 30, but it's a phone. It doesn't. You're not. The textures and resolution and frame rate don't matter as anywhere near as much on a screen of said size. So it's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive, to say the least. Yeah, because it was basically that decision in my head was just like Half-Life Alyx and Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's fair. That is fair.
Are like two VR games that I would really like to play and seem to be like what I want out of VR.
From VR, yeah.
And it's and PSVR just isn't offering that at the moment. So it was definitely a thought process. I probably won't, almost definitely won't, just because the faff. I'm not going to get the cost of a MetaQuest 2 out of selling the PSVR for one. So I'd still have to then spend more money, which I don't really want to do. I just have to sit and hope that Sony has some level of intelligence of making this expensive piece of equipment they've designed and released worth having, because they've not done it yet. And then I don't know why I thought they might this time, considering the Vita and the PSVR 1 are prime examples of them making new toys that should be great, but are just not supported properly. But I really, 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 really hope we can get these fucking ports. I think at least Ubisoft will be necking for a port, because MetaQuest also just eliminates a large portion of PC VR players.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of money that...
Yeah, that's almost certainly a paid-for exclusivity.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's just, is it timed or is it permanent? Fucking hopefully timed.
Normally those things are.
Yeah.
Very rarely is a third-party exclusivity like that not timed. It's very rare.
Depends on the deal. Like Final Fantasy stuff is supposed to come out on Xbox.
Yeah.
But it just doesn't. I think they're allowed to at this point, but Sony are so in bed with them that they just don't.
Yeah.
Which is there's neither here nor there to me, but it seems a bit.
Could also just be though that they don't feel like that there's. They don't feel like they're going to get enough extra sales to justify it.
Yeah, that's entirely
because producing physical copies is really expensive. Doing digital stuff, they're still going to have to pay some money to publish it. Especially as that platform is primarily Game Pass users, and they might not want to put it on Game Pass. They might want specific sales. They might not be allowed to put it on Game Pass still as part of whatever the exclusivity contracts were. Could go further than that. They're not able to do that. But they equally just might not have any interest in putting it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I mean, they've never had a particularly strong relationship with Xbox. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 came to Xbox. They are porting Final Fantasy 14, which is the MMO, to Xbox. So it seems like they might start. I think they're just going to do it slowly. They've not ignored PC.
They're just not in a rush because there's probably just not enough potential market there to be in a rush to do it.
No, and again, this is what we were saying earlier, and kind of what Game Pass has done. Potentially, we don't know what the situation is with Square Enix, but the fact that is a viable possibility is what Game Pass has done. But at the same time, you can't deny that Game Pass is banging for the consumer.
Indeed. Right, I think we should wrap up there because
we have waffled about
We've now
games.
waffled about games for over an hour. So
but it was good.
It was good. But we need to faff with this.
Indeed, thank you very much for joining for our first show back.
I'm going to put a time code here of actual end.
Yeah, game waffle, actual end. Thank you very much for joining for our first show back. Remember to tell people to come and join us, to come join the Discord, to come join the streams when we are on. We will be returning next Saturday at 8 p.m. to watch Black Widow. It's not next week though. You need to do Sunday. Is it?
No.
Saturday at 8 p.m.
Had to think, but no.
To watch Black Widow, so make sure...
To be honest, actually think about it, the day that I need to do the Sunday, I can't do the Sunday. We'll have to work something out. I'm busy both days. We'll have to work something out. But we will. We will work something.
Cancel your plans.
No.
Outrageous behaviour. You're going to go see Trains?
The first day I'm going to see Trains, yeah.
I assumed you would.
All the way in Milton Keynes.
Oh, yes, you did tell me. Yeah. That was the Saturday.
The second day we have band practice.
Inexcusable.
I know.
Considering we organised to do it on the Sunday, literally like 4 days ago.
Yeah, I'd forgotten I already had the band practice.
We'll work it out. We will work that out.
There'll be a solution. We can do it Friday night or something.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Whether or not there will be a Friday game stream is entirely up to Rich and his situation on the day, I suspect. I would assume probably not, given the circumstances. But keep it in the front of your mind, just in case Father would like to play some video games with us all, and share his kind, loving face with the world. Although I imagine it's stressed and tired at the moment.
I would imagine so, yeah.
Understandably so. But keep that in the forefront of your mind. Make sure that if Rich sends out the beacon for a video game stream, that you are ready. Ready and waiting. Your body is ready for daddy.
You're losing the plot again.
It's a stream. What do you want?
Hot chocolate, if I'm honest.
Yes, in which case, make sure you watch Black Widow and then join us to talk about it next fucking week. Be there or be a fucking loser.
Good Lord. Right, should we go?
Thanks for joining. Bye.
Oh, I see if this works.